What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Apex, the podcast. And we've got a new member here in the room, our man Peeps. Peeps, what is up, my man? Welcome to the show. Welcome
What
to the
up,
show,
what up?
bro.
I'm excited to join you guys, man. Honestly, I've always wanted to do a podcast and to get on here with two absolute legends, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Dude, I'm so excited. This is why me and Enoch were so excited last week. There were very few people that we thought would actually fit, and you were the one. And I mean, it took a little bit. We had to talk a little bit out. We had to figure out some things, but we figured it out. I was very nervous. I was like,
why I was getting nervous.
I was like, man, we're done. We're out.
Dude.
But you're here now.
The only hesitation I had is because like all my free time, I want to put it into my stream. You know what I mean? Like I have that grind mentality where I wake up, stream, go to bed, stream, you know, like all that. So I didn't know how much of a time commitment it was going to be, but I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I had a fucking blast when you guys invited me. So I was like, dude, come on. You know?
Yeah,
so.
dude, there's nothing better than this. There's nothing better than I'm so excited. But we do want to talk to you a little bit, mini interview about because you've been on the show before, and that was one of my favorite interviews we've ever done. But now, since then, we had talked about on that interview, you were kind of rising. You were #1 pred. You were hitting all these milestones. After that interview, it only got crazier. All of a sudden, you were in a suit on the main stage at Champs for the ALGS, interviewing people, doing all this crazy stuff. The season ends. You're no longer the #1 pred. Your numbers are still there. Everything's kicking for you right now. You're on a heater. You're on an absolute heater, my man. So let's talk a little bit about ALGS, the main stage, and just how much things have changed just even since that interview. Like, how have you been, my man?
I've been great, man. I've been great. I've been blessed, man. Grateful. It's been insane, man. I remember one day I was just playing ranked, and all of a sudden I get a text, and it was like, "Hey, do you want us to throw your name in the hat for potentially hosting ALGS?" And I looked at my phone, I looked at my camera, and I just started screaming, like, "Ah!" Nobody knew. I couldn't tell anybody. And then the next night, I think it was, or that night, I got a DM from somebody at EA, and they were like, "Dude, you got it. You got it. We'll see you in Birmingham." You know, and it was surreal, man. Surreal.
Yeah, and you did a good job, man. They put you in some spots. I'll tell you that. Like from graduating from broadcasting, there was some spots they put you in which are not easy to handle. And I'm not going to say that they shouldn't have done it either, because like sometimes you got to throw them to the wolves and see how they react. But having to talk to somebody on the stage with a translator there as well, never an easy task. But you handled it. You did a great job. There was one thing though. You didn't win that 1v1, and for the controller
absolutely tragic to an MNK player.
To an MNK player.
An MNK
bro?
player.
Come on.
All right, so technically I did. All right, technically I
Is that
did.
the story?
So no, that's the truth. You could ask him yourself, right? So I had to basically go around and show the Alliance booth, and then sit down in the chair and play a 1v1 against wives. Right? I always thought it was Vaifs. It's wives, pronounced like multiple wives. And so they were like, "All right, you're gonna talk about the merch, you're gonna talk about the booth, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna play 3 deaths with them, and then that's it." And so I did it. First take, killed it on the mic. And they were like super happy because I saw my floor manager over there, like, really good. Sat down, ripped him. I think I took 20, 30 damage, right? And he looked at me and he looked at his buddy. He's like, "Control him, man. What are you going to do?" So then we go into we start playing like the second death, right? And it was taking a little too long. So, you know, my producer like just cut it, and they're like, "We got to redo that." And I'm like, "We got to redo that? I just beat him, man. Like, come on, can we keep that?" And so next time I did it, killed it in the second take of talking about the booth, sat down and just got absolutely ripped. All right. And you can ask wives, He seems like a good dude. I don't think he'd lie. But I did beat him the first time. I did.
So it's tied 1-1. We just need to settle this. We need to go for the third round.
I guess we'll see that next champs.
Dude, hopefully they bring me back, bro. Or even for the playoffs or anything at all. I mean, it was just surreal to share that stage with all these guys I play Apex with, play ranked with, and all my pro friends. It's fucking crazy.
All right, so which was better, that week or the week in Greece after?
Oh, man. Honestly, I'm going to have to say the week in Greece because ALGS was work. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't having fun. I was having fun, right? But not in the sense of like there was just so much pressure on me. I was so nervous. Like day 1 and day 5, I swear to you, bro, it felt like I was going to fucking throw up the whole entire time, and fun little story. Did you guys watch the very beginning of the broadcast when I'm on stage introducing ALGS Champs Year 3?
On Sunday or like at the beginning? I don't think so.
All right. So at the very beginning, no. Day 1. Sorry. Day 1 before finals was there. Right at the beginning. No? All right.
I vaguely remember it, but that's it.
All right. So right at the very beginning, I have a little speech that I wrote that I was supposed to give with my little Eminem dialogue. I don't know if you guys heard that one. And I lose my producer in my ear. I don't know what happened, if the batteries died to the little mic in my ear. Lose him. All of a sudden, production tells my floor manager is somebody that stays with you no matter where you go. She was like, go, go, go. So I started doing my little speech, and then all of a sudden I see her go. And I start like my whole body just feels hot. I'm sweating out of every hole in my body, bro. And then she goes, go, go, go. So I go back again and redo it. That was my worst nightmare ever. And it happened.
Because you have no idea what they just heard. You just know that she told you stop and then told you to go again. And you just don't know what they heard.
Yeah, so I rewatched the broadcast as soon as I went back in the talent room, and I cut so sharp to a T and so quickly that it just looked like an audio issue. But nobody knows
there you go. Yeah. Well, now they knows that, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter.
It's over
because you killed it. And also, I'd like to shout out you for the backwards hat gang. I already tweeted you this when it happened, but the backwards hat with the suit doesn't look bad to me. I've never thought it looked bad. People may have the opinion on the opposite side. As a backwards hat guy, I never thought it looked bad, especially if you have a sick-ass beard, which I do, which you do. And so I want to see more backwards hat guys on the main stage in the suit. You brought it here first. You're a trendsetter in my eyes. I think that's something we'll see in the future. At least I hope so. And I think it worked well. I think it was a great look. And I want to see more of it. So I shout you out. I've worn a backwards hat on just about every episode of this podcast. I want to see more of it. So that was my big takeaway. But you did a great job. And it's been crazy for you recently, I'm sure. But it's also been a great time. And I can't wait to have you on, hear all your takes about ALGS and all of that. But ladies and gents, we still have a whole podcast we got to record here. E, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. The last weekish has been super fun, and it's just been more of the same. Just it's building season, and it's fun to build. And whenever Apex is hard, and when Apex is in like a bad state, not too many people are hopping on to play. And when that's the case, that's, in my opinion, where you should be putting in that more work and just trying to do your best to enjoy it and have it fun as much as possible. Because if you're able to hop on a bad version of the game that not as many people are streaming because it's a bad version of the game, and you're able to actually have fun while you do it, you're one of the only few people out there having fun playing the game, you're just going to keep on, you're just farming.
So win-win.
And the past few days, especially with TwitchCon, we'll be farming. Like I had organic. I had it might have been it was my first in a really 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 long time of having a stream that I averaged over 1,000 organic, which is like nuts. And like I'm fully aware that like yeah, okay, it was TwitchCon weekend, everybody was gone for sure, but just having that day and just being able to have just that many people that I get to interact with and then have like a positive impact on. Like obviously they're not all gonna. I'm not gonna have like all over 1,000 of them back in there tomorrow, but that's over like there's a ton of people that I got to interact with, and it's just as I think we talk about in the interview, like it's like the small things and then being consistent that constantly build up over time. And I know that if I keep approaching everything that I'm approaching with as much energy and effort, and as they say, passion as I am now over the culmination of a multitude of years, it'll just we'll be there.
So was that today as well that you were averaging over 1,000?
I haven't checked today. I definitely wasn't. But I've made it a habit of I know I don't check my stream summaries until the day after. Just because I want to get into the habit of like just I get off a stream and I'm like I'm not like I don't want to look at them and be like obsessed about the numbers. I just want to focus on making sure that I'm bringing the right energy that I need to the stream. But yeah, it was Sunday's stream or what is it? It's Tuesday today. So it was Monday's stream. And so yeah, Sunday was also a juicer and a farmer. But then Monday was the organic ish, right? Because like everybody's still traveling. Yeah, it's been fun.
I love that. And I know a lot of those people from that 1,000 average organic streams during TwitchCon are going to come back, bro.
Oh,
you're
100%.
hard to resist, baby. You're hard to resist, you know?
100%. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Facts.
No,
don't stop killing me in rank, though, please.
It's just building. I mean, hey, that's you gotta. I don't even have to. I just send Freddie on you, and it's just raps. That kid is he is different. It's actually disgusting how good he is. You know what's cracked? I asked his dad, and I was like, so is Freddie gonna be able? I was like, is Freddie gonna be able to play for a split day, or do I need to find like a different like person for me and Morbid to play with? And Freddie has school, doesn't have a break, but his dad's gonna pick him up from school so he can hop on and play split day.
Hell yeah.
So we're gonna have the squad making the number one grind, and so
yes, sir.
We'll be locking in and teeing up. It'll be fun.
Love that.
There we go. My week was good. The Denver Broncos won a football game, so that's always a good week. I know, Enoch, you told me last week to not focus on it. I found a way to stream and watch the whole game illegally, and it was a dogfight. I'll tell you that much. I wasted an entire Sunday watching my shit football team win a game that they should have lost, and I've never felt better. Like I forgot how good it feels to win games. Like it felt so good. And you wake up Monday morning and nobody can say shit to you at work. Like nobody. And it's just an unbeatable feeling. It's just
no one can say shit to you at work when you don't give a fuck about football too.
That is also true, but also I can't just not care. I can't just not care. Also, last week about the hockey team, I told you the one team was going to forfeit, so we would have a 3-game win streak. I was wrong. It was 2 games later, so we lost 13-0, and then we lost
oh my god,
15-1, I think, and then we got that win from the forfeit. So Fresno State hockey is looking good. We're chugging along here.
Hey, at least
I will say this: in the 13-0 loss, our first 10 minutes, we could have played the Boston Bruins and beat them. We were playing that good. It's just we only have 2 lines. It's a first-year program. We don't have a full team yet. We have a full team. We take it to them. I think we played Long Beach State. We would have taken it to Long Beach State. Well, in year 3, year 4, we're beating the hell out of Long Beach State. And that's a fact. You could put a stamp of approval on that from me, year 4 of Fresno State's hockey program. We're beating the shit out of Long Beach State. I say that with my whole chest. So that was my sports weekend. Other than that, it was really good. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. I've been watching all the Scream movies. I watched all the SoaR movies. So that has been my weekend. It's been
Well,
just
dude. Well,
good,
speaking of
relaxing time.
sports, the funny thing about the show
Oh shit!
is that the OG thing about this show,
I forgot.
that was something that we would mention every episode. We'd sneak it in there at some point. Is now a very contentious topic
It has something to do with Brady.
for the podcast.
Do you think Tom Brady cheated over there, peeps?
Suck a
'Cause,
fucking dick, dude. Dude. Serious, dude.
Tom Brady's a cheater. 100%.
I'm just saying.
Just-
There's evidence out there. I'm not. It could have happened. Why did Gronk
is that
spike the
real?
cell phone? I don't know. All I know is Deflategate was a thing, and Roger was headed for TB12, and we got Tuck
Cheater.
Rule. That Super Bowl doesn't count. 28-3. That one doesn't count. Matt Ryan. He had money on the other side, so he blew that game. Don't have that confirmed. That was a lie. Actually, that's the only Super Bowl that counts out of all the other ones. Adam Vinatieri bailed him out on the other two.
Is that a real thing though that you guys do? Is just casually throw
We-
in the fact
we
that
always
you're
have.
an idiot?
Casually,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
throw in Tom Brady's a cheater.
We're not doing this no more. We're not doing this no more.
Hey,
That was one detail that I did not
Yeah,
mention.
we forgot
when
to
we were
mention
pitching
that.
the sell to peeps.
this
I
might
got
be
set
his
up.
Tom
first
Brady's
and only
slander
episode.
that is
Yeah.
associated.
Yeah, we're gone. We're gone. No, I mean, listen, I'll defend Brady till the day I'm dead. All right. It's funny because I actually got in an Uber with a guy. who
Brady?
was
Oh.
No, I fucking wish, dude. Are you kidding me? I would freak out. You'd never hear the end of it, bro. That'd be the whole podcast. But no, the guy was saying that Tom Brady's a cheater, and he mentioned Deflategate.
A sensible man. Yeah.
And
a well-respected, sensible man.
Senseless, I think you meant. But no, listen. You talk to anybody who knows anything about science. You take anything with air pressure in it. You go from a
going to
hot
science.
climate to a cold climate. It loses air pressure. That's why you got to fill up your tires in the winter, right?
Yeah.
But so yeah, we're not even gonna
That
get
Boston
into that.
accent is I love that accent so much. That's the best. That's the best.
You guys will see it. It comes out when I'm excited, upset, or I'm talking to other people from Boston. I don't know why. It
Yeah,
so happens to do that.
It's like you're speaking your own language. That's what it is. I love it though. Okay. Let's get into some news here. That is our weeks. We only got we're in the dog days of ALGS right now. Some roster mania, some we've already talked about. Not too much news here. On the other side of the interview, which by the way is a banger with Draynilla.
Fire,
We will
dude.
talk about the brand new Legend Conduit is coming out. We'll give our thoughts on that. But let's go through the news really quick here. Not too terribly much to talk about. Number one, we talked about it last week, but now Guild is confirmed to Moist, which is huge because Moist is a baller of a team. Not only do they get Guild, but they've also moved to NA and they dropped all of their drop spots. So getting into Moist here, I know E, you kind of already had said your thoughts about this last week, but just to reiterate and kind of like have more of a point to it now that it is confirmed, where do you see Moist going in this next season, and what does the addition of Guild do for this team and do for the rest of the scene of NA? Because now you're throwing in a real big wrench with all of these teams, Moist now moving into the fold. Like NA is going to be a dogfight to try and get into a spot here. But how do you see it from your perspective with Moist right now?
I mean, it's an absolutely just stacked team, and I think it's the best fit that was available for Guild. And I think given the struggles that Guild had with his previous team in the iJailing style, I think that from like a team vibes perspective, that he's going to be able to really thrive, and we're going to be able to see a different version of Guild that we haven't gotten to see in quite some time. And it'll be cool. I mean, they're definitely a team that is going to establish themselves in NA as a dominant team early on, or at least I would be shocked if they don't. And it'll be fun to watch how they operate in NA coming from APAC. I mean, because they mentioned that one of the main reasons is due to NA being the like best region and the hardest competition to practice for LAN, but they're coming from what is one of the like what I think by the time we were done with champs that we had said that APAC South was probably the second best region. I mean,
Easy.
they definitely at this point it seems that they've shown that they've had better outings than EU and APAC North as of late, and so I think that you'll see a pretty seamless transition, and they'll definitely be making a name for themselves and Moist Esports in this year 4.
So, Peeps, from your perspective, you look at all these teams in NA and you say, for Moist, when they were in APAC South, it was an easy qual every single time because it was like you were the best team there, or if not, there's other teams around, but for the most part, they were the best team there. Even when Dark Zero was there, it was an easy qual. Now you're kind of going into like shark infested waters. You've got so many good teams in this. From your perspective on the move over to NA, is it something that they had to do? And then give your thoughts on Moist joining this team that has already been stacked and has performed over and over and over again.
So, I mean, one, I respect the hell out of them moving into. It's basically they went from playing, JV to varsity. Like they're playing with the big boys now, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, right? A lot more controllers that they got to deal with. But I think business aspect, I think it's genius, right? Not only are you playing against, the best of the best, arguably NA, not even arguably the best of the best NA, but stream wise, I think they're making a much better move when in terms of revenue, right? So a lot of people don't know it, but other countries get absolutely shafted on like sub revenue or ad revenue because they're in a different country, right? They're up in the numbers there. They're also moving closer to Moist headquarters, right? So they're going to be cranking out some more content and whatnot. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the video of Waltzy, who has arms the size of my torso.
Yeah. Shredded.
Do you remember him slapping that 6-foot dildo and that thing just jiggling?
No, I didn't.
What?
I don't.
I do remember the aggressively large phallic object that was present.
Bro, it was
in the
6 feet.
in the video. It was
and it had
taller than
veins.
me.
It was a fat cock.
Bro. And he slapped
to put it lightly.
Bro, he smacked this thing and it was the funniest video, right? It was so out of left field. He slapped it, and then I saw a tweet like months later. Is like, rumor has it that dildo is still shaking or something like that from Walty slapping it. But no, I think it's a great move. I think them picking up Guild. He's hungry, man. He's hungry. We went out a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to him like, oh, what's the move? Like, what are you going to be doing? And he said he trialed with a lot of teams. I don't know how much info I could give out on that because I don't want to put his business out there, but he trialed with some very good teams. So, I think you touched on it severely well. Vibes, right? I think it's tough, and I'm super surprised at how insane of a player an IGL Suite is, right? Arguably the best in the world. Nathan, just talent out the ass, but they can never perform as well as they want when it comes to ALGSs and in-person lands. So maybe Guild gets to hoist that trophy this year, I do also fully agree that I think we're going to see a whole other Guild that we haven't seen in a while, right? My man is hungry. I think the vibes are going to be better, so he's going to be feeling more confident in himself, but not only that, comfortable, right? And when you're comfortable and when you're confident, right, you're swinging cock, So I think you're going to see him take these plays that he normally wouldn't take under the NRG banner. And we'll see what happens, fellas. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I do like what you said. Getting into my thoughts a little bit on it with the junior varsity to varsity, it's like you're stepping up into a whole new level. But I think it's the right move for them, despite the fact that there is a chance that it starts off a little slow. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think when we get into year 4, I think they're going to come out of the gate a little bit slower, and then things are going to kind of mesh together. And I don't even think it's necessarily going to be them as a cohesive unit, but them having to be on at all times for way longer than they've had to do it before. Not to say that they can't do it, but a lot of times you'll see a rookie come into the league, let's say in the NHL, 18-year-old rookie comes up, he's only played 30 game seasons. Now you're playing 82. That's a lot longer of a time that you have to be on. I don't want to say that they were sleepwalking in APAC South, but there's an argument to be made that you could have been sleepwalking in APAC South because the fact that you knew that you were the top dog there and there was really nobody who was going to challenge you. Now that's not the case. Like, there is a lot of really solid teams and they're consistently changing, and there's still some free agents out there that could change up this landscape more. Like, it's about to get a whole lot crazier. So yeah, I think they're going to stumble out of the gate a little bit, but I think they're going to come together, and I think we're going to see the same old Moist, but with an added bonus of having Gildersons on the team. I don't think the IGL style fit him with Sweet, and I think he will fit in a lot better with how they IGL. And I think you're going to start seeing some of these crazy clips that we were seeing when he was starting to make a name for himself. That's what we're going to see. I can't wait to see it. Moist has always been one of my favorite teams to follow. I just like watching them. Waltzy is gigantic, and he won my award at Champs for just most yoked person I've ever seen in my life. Unfortunately, you guys didn't get to see it on the podcast because when I did the slideshow thing, I did it wrong. But it was there. He's huge. He's giant. And I'm sure he's even bigger in person, and you've seen him.
I am telling you, his arms are the size of like my torso. It's insane. Like, you don't need
it's got to be so funny watching him hold a controller. It's like watching Shaq hold like a Pepsi can, like a regular Pepsi can. Like, that's crazy that he's just holding a controller. It's got to look so small. But yeah, like, that team is going to be insane. I think, like I said, I do think people are going to get on them early, but they're going to gel. Things are going to work out, and they're going to do a lot better moving on later into the season. So that is Moist. Let's move on into the next part here. We got Vexed. Now, this is EU. We don't always have the most like up-to-date knowledge with EU, but Vex announces their third, which is Kind 4. I want you guys to guess how old this kid is.
Well, I sort of know.
Yeah, he's like 16, isn't
17, I think.
He just turned, I think, he's 17. Yeah, he's 17 years old, from Spain. Dude's insane. Came over from Element 6. Now he's moving over to Vexed. I don't know how much knowledge you guys have on like exactly what's going on with EU, but there's got to be a reason that somebody is heading after, the 17-year-old phenom, because I mean, he's done well so far.
I mean, he's absolutely insane. I don't know if you guys I don't know if you had a chance to play ranked with him yet.
I have. He's nuts. He's just an incredibly talented gamer.
He's a European guild. He's a European Verholst, still a young kid, so he's got a lot to sort of pat down to really make him a Verholst, right, or a guild. But I think gunny skills, dude, he is up there with the best of the best in the world. Played ranked with him, I swear to you. I think I played with him in Effect. I have never been carried this hard before in my life. All I had to do was stay alive, shoot a couple bullets, and we win every single game. It's insane. Bright future for that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a little bit of experience playing with him, and yeah, he's everything that Peep said. He's just an incredibly young and talented controller player who has an incredibly bright future ahead of him, and especially joining a well-established duo in Matafe and is it Unlucky? Is that who they're?
No, I don't think anymore. I think Unlucky left.
So it's not an established duo anymore. So who's Matafe?
It's
Matafe
from
and who?
It's Matafe, Unlucky, and Kind Forward. That's what it says right
Unlucky.
now. It
So
may
it
not
is
have
Unlucky.
updated.
I'm so sorry, man.
Okay, well,
No,
no. I mean, then yeah, it should be a really good fit for him. And interesting enough, kind of lost his spot to Tyler, who took his spot on E6 for
Bro,
champs.
is his name Kinda? And I said
Yeah.
Kind 4.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Bro, can we restart?
I remember saying kind. No, we definitely leave that in because I remember I always thought it was kind 4 too, but no,
You
yeah,
did?
it's kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So did a lot of people think that, or am I just the biggest idiot of all time?
No,
I didn't
think
know,
the
and I
majority
play
of
with
people.
him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it.
But yeah, no, he is. So yeah, he'll be joining Matafe and Lucky, and so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, he's an incredibly talented player. It'll be exciting to see how they do in the EU scene. EU scene, I think, have we found out what Nasky's up to and what he's doing? There's
Didn't
a
he
lot of
get-
stuff that are up in the air in the EU space at the moment.
Didn't he just get with a new team or something?
I can look. I didn't have
I'll
it
peep it
on.
right quick. Nasky.
Or like a new org or something?
07? Page does not exist.
Okay, it is, yeah, Team 07, Nags. He's with Nags and Amphi. So Amphi is an incredibly talented controller player. Nags also incredibly talented controller player. Nags has plenty of land experience. Amphi, I don't believe, has a ton, but he's in like he's basically like the EU version of like chaotic Shubi, Zainu, like all those guys. He's like an EU one of them, and then combining with Nasky, I think that this is going to be it'll be the first time that we'll see Nasky getting to play with two controller players in ALGS. He's been playing with Serdell for the longest time as an MNK duo, and so we'll see if a little bit more aim assist could have been the thing that Nasky was missing for this upcoming year. I would be absolutely shocked if that team, by the time year 4 is over, isn't signed. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, last little bit of news here before we get into the interview. Tripods. Now, this is just a rumor, and I don't know the validity of it, but it came from J-Mails on Twitter. Tripods potentially not being invited to year 4. For anybody who doesn't know, ALGS will just extend invites to certain teams that, they just get invited into Pro League, and Tripods had been getting it. There's a rumor that they're not going to be getting the invite this year. I don't know how I feel about this because I think there's good reasoning on both sides of the argument to be like, okay, well, there's probably other teams out there who may deserve it a little bit more, which is fine. I think that's totally fair to say. But on the other side of the coin, it's a lot more eyeballs on the esport with Nick being in it. And I think that's kind of what you're looking for in the early times of trying to get something started. And with him involved, I think you just want as many eyes as you can get. I think that's what you're looking for. And that's not even to say that they were playing terrible. They definitely had some big moments this year. I think the year before it was a little tougher for them, but this year they had some clutch wins, some good clippable moments throughout their run. They just didn't make it in the end. But how do you guys feel?
You want to take it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty similar. I definitely think for the game overall, you got to have Nick Merckx competing in Pro League. And I think everybody just kind of already assumed that they would be an auto lock of somebody who they would be extending that offer to. If that team does have to play through the plans, I think they have certainly they have a strong chance of being able to earn themselves a spot through the different qualifying rounds that we're going to see in the PLQs. So I don't think that if they don't get the auto invite, I don't think it's definite that we won't be seeing them. And I think it would show from EA's perspective or Respawn's, whoever's in charge of those invites, that they're not just doing it for the views and that they're doing it to the teams that they really want to see have a chance to compete and show what they have. Yeah, we will see. I definitely think that if they do have to go through PLQs, we'll definitely see them tee up and lock in, and hopefully see a more dialed Tripods than we have as of late. Just because when I think of Tripods, when they were having the season where they were playing way better than everybody thought they were going to, it was because they were like always constantly on. They were playing together all the time. They were ranking, then they were scrimming, and then they were going to be ranking after. And just the sheer amount of time they spent playing the game, I think, was a large part in why they were as successful as they were. Their first season in the league, and then I think the last season when they've obviously they all have like an incredible amount of like stuff going on, and they haven't been playing quite the same, and they didn't get the results that obviously they were hoping for. So it'll be interesting to see what we see out of tripods in the coming year.
Yeah, that one actually surprised me because they made that rule for Nick Merckx, right? Like that was a brand new thing, and Nick didn't, Nick Tripod's Deeds and Gent didn't make Pro League, and then they added that rule in, right? So I feel like that was entirely tailored to these guys, which business aspect I think is genius on EA's behalf, to get them in there, right? Because we want to see as many people watching Apex as possible. I think Nick has done so much for the Apex community and bringing so many more viewers, right? But not only viewers, players. All these people that used to play Warzone, um, trying out Apex. Um, and now, do you guys have any ideas of who they would bring if this rumor is true that tripods aren't getting a spot?
See, that's the tough part is like I'm trying to think like so the only argument I could come up with is it's viewership versus competitive integrity. But at the same time, if you look at competitive integrity, how much better is that team that they're going to invite instead? It has to be like a good, it's got to be a very good team. I don't have one though. I can't, off the top of my head, I don't really, do you guys have one?
The only people I could think is maybe like Zach Mazer. I know he's had his up and down moments there. But I think when Zach's on, he's on. He's been playing the game since, competitively since day one. Um, Maybe Zach. I don't know. I'd have to look at a list, man. But I know this LCQ was the sweatiest LCQ we have ever seen in our life, right? Where I think there were like 7 teams that were like, wow, like these guys have a shot at really just possibly winning ALGS. Maybe 6 teams. So I'm not too sure. Does Furia have a Pro League spot?
Oh, that would be one.
I believe so.
They should,
I could
right?
be that could be wrong.
That
I
would
mean,
be
that
an interesting one.
that would off off the top of my head, that would definitely be one where I'm like, I could see that.
I still think you look at Nick though and you say, okay, like how do we get people tuned in to playoff days on Saturday and Sundays before you get to any like LAN event? How do you get people locked in? It's like, oh, okay, we've got one of the biggest guys streaming it right now with 27 Thou Wow. And you're like, holy shit, we've got on this, we're watching this. And for whatever you feel about Nick Merckx, he's polarizing. Some people really love him, some people really hate him. No matter what, you're viewing him, you're watching him, you're trying to see what he's doing, trying to see what he's up to. So I think if they already made the rule and then you go away from it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But yeah, just a very interesting situation. I can see both sides though. I do get it. I understand it. Like if you felt like there were teams that could bring a better product, and we saw an LCQ team make it all the way up to 4th place on this last champs with the dojo. So it's like there's always a chance that they could sneak through anyway and just say fuck you to all of it. But just very interesting thoughts. Once again, just a rumor, not confirmed, just a rumor at this point. But we'll see in the coming weeks where that goes. Okay, ladies and gents, we're gonna throw it on down to an awesome interview with Draynilla. This shit was amazing. It was just a conversation between 4 boys. We were just chilling, talking gaming, talking live content creation, of course, Apex, all of the good stuff. he's definitely going to come back on. He's going to be one of those guys we have on multiple times because it was that good of an interview. But and he's just a great vibe guy, top 10 vibe guy. We're going to hit a quick ad, and then on the other side, Draynilla. After that, we're going to round it out talking about the brand new Legend Conduit, heart to heart, and then send you guys on the rest of your week. Let's get it. All right, here we are, ladies and gents. We've got a very special guest for the first time on the show. SoaR Gaming Draynilla is on the show for the very first time. What is up, my man? How are you feeling?
I'm doing good, bro. Right now, in this exact moment, I'm a little sick, coming home from TwitchCon, but overall, I feel amazing, man. I'm feeling great, very blessed, very thankful, you know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling great, man.
Dude, it looked like you were living it up on TwitchCon, bro. Your
I
posts
loved
were
it, bro.
all over the place.
I loved it, bro. I absolutely loved it. I think, in my opinion, this was probably one of the best TwitchCons we've had so far. I went to 2019, and then I went to last year's, but this one was fucking sick. I don't know if I could go back to Vegas, though. Vegas is a sinful city.
Oh, dude, it's hardcore. It's next level. You got to be careful with Vegas.
It's insane. People love partying till 6, 7 a.m. I'm like, bro, my bedtime's like around 2, bro. I'm chilling.
The craziest part about Vegas is you look around it, and it's nothing but just a huge desert, but for whatever reason, this city sprouted. This Sin City sprouted out of nowhere. It's crazy.
Out of nowhere, out of thin air, bro. Almost like a magician put it there.
Yeah. Do you have more? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was telling Mac and Crude, I could understand why people get like sucked in and like stay there. It's almost like a black hole for entertainment. With all the gambling, the alcohol, sex, money, drugs, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I could understand why people get like stuck and just like sucked into that type of lifestyle. I'm like, yeah, it's not for me, bro. I can never come back. Like if there's like another convention or like event, for sure, but just for like a weekend or like a vacation, fuck no, bro. I'm not going there.
Yeah, I made the mistake one time of going for, I think it was 4 days, 3 nights. And by the fourth day, I was like, please just get me out of here. Like, I'm losing too much money. I just want to go home. Like, I just can't handle it.
At the Razor party, bro, oh my God, peeps know. At the Razor party, we were just about to leave. It was like 2, 3 a.m. I went to the bar. I was like, yo, let me get 3 water bottles, right? It was 3 small Fiji bottles, not even medium, not even large, just like that big. I paid $52 for 3 small Fiji water bottles. I wanted to cry, bro. I wanted to cry. I was like, there's no way I actually just got scammed like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a flex that you can be like, yeah, I've spent $52 on,
I didn't want to.
On water.
I didn't want to. My wall was hurting after it. Kaylee was. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna. No, you finish your story.
I was gonna say no. Kaylee and Riz, who is Crude's wife, they bought 2 drinks, one for each of themselves. It was $80, $40 a drink.
That's insane.
It was disgusting, bro. Disgusting.
A little Vegas tip, just for if you ever do go back in the future. Little Vegas tip. If you're in the bar, maybe you don't want to be spending $40 on a drink. This is the tip. Go to the bar. You know how they have that little play thing right in front, the computer play thing. There's usually games on there that you can play 25 cents a hand. If the bartender sees you playing at max money, if you see him at the end, play on like the smaller amount. If you see him walking towards you, switch it over to max money. They can see behind how much you're betting, and anything you get, they will just give it to you for free because they want you to stay and keep playing. So that was a tip my dad taught me. And it actually, I didn't pay for a beer for 2 days. So that was like my tip.
That's true. That's true. Crude was telling me too that if you want free nights at hotels in Vegas, then simply just go to their casino on whatever hotel you want to stay at, put $100 down. They're going to walk up to you seeing you gambling and just offer you nights and stuff like that. Ask for your information and they're going to email you different promotion links and shit like that. I was like, that's smart. Just put that $100 down. You're going to lose that guaranteed, but it's going to be worth it because you're going to actually have more things to look forward to in the future, free nights and all that shit.
Yeah, they have crazy rewards. Getting back to the whole the TwitchCon part of it, I know it's obviously it's a huge convention. You're a big part of Twitch, and that's been a major part of your career so far. But is it more the convention itself, or just the people you surround yourself with and getting to see those people?
Yeah, I think it's for sure the people and the connections that you make, not only with other streamers, but your communities and stuff like that, and the people that look up to you and the people that, see you as role models and stuff like that, and the people who watch you every day. And the convention, it's cool, and it's but I think at the end of the day, a lot of people do go to TwitchCon and these type of events to simply just see their favorite streamer, to see their friends from all around the world and stuff like that. So I think that's the most important part of it. And I know for me personally, that's of course why I went, because I want to see all my friends, I want to network, I want to see my community, and stuff like that. So that's always the biggest fucking, most important part for me.
You guys got one?
Yeah, what was your favorite party at TwitchCon?
Mm,
And
favorite party.
I think I know which one, right? And
Mm.
if you say the one that I'm thinking about, I'm gonna ask you for your second favorite.
Okay, man. I think my favorite was definitely the face party, bro. At Hakkasan.
What?
That shit was lit, bro. They play better music there. I'm not gonna lie, because at the Razor party, they just play like straight like EDM music, and like I don't have anything against it, but like I want to hear some more hip hop. I want to be able to like rap to the lyrics and stuff like that, and like jam with my friends. But like EDM, you can't really rap to it, of course. It's more of like what, and you just dance.
I feel it, bro. But they were playing some bangers, bro. They had we will.
Oh, that was
I mean,
that was pretty good.
Rock, not
That was
rap,
good.
but
But
right.
yeah, I like more hip hop stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to hear some ass shaking music, bro. I want to hear some Drake. I want to hear some Travis. I want to hear some like Lil Baby. It's very generic, but like I want to hear more stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why at the face party they were just playing like banger after banger after banger, bro. And we started getting on top of the tables and shit like that and dancing, bro. It was too fun. It was lit.
So I wanted to get back a little bit to the fans and like getting to meet some of the people who watch you and stuff like that. It's got to be such a surreal feeling, man. Just like pulling up and people are like, "Holy shit, it's him!" And then they just walk up and want a picture and all that. Like, walk through how that feels, like getting to meet some of these people.
It is so fucking cool, bro. It is one of the most insane feelings I think I've ever experienced in my life. And it's so hard to describe unless you actually kind of go through it. And maybe like, people, Enoch, all of you guys have maybe experienced that in your life. You know what I'm saying? It is such a surreal feeling. But having someone walk up to you and be like, "Oh my God, that's Dre," or like whatever it is. And like asking for a picture, saying that, the streams and the content, it helps their life. It changed their life and they look at life in a better, positive way. You know what I'm saying? It is such a crazy, crazy feeling, man. It is so fucking cool, bro. I absolutely love it. And at the end of the day, that's what's most important. You know what I'm saying? The people that you make an impact on, the people that you have a connection with, the people's lives that you change for the better. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the clout. It's not about the money and how many people actually know you. It's about, how many people that you impact and that you change their lives in a positive manner. And so being able to do that on a daily basis and through video games, of course, of all things, I think is probably one of the coolest things ever. And it's one of the coolest feelings ever.
Got any?
Did you have
sorry,
anybody come
No,
from a
he's good.
crazy place to come see you?
I don't think I had anyone come specifically just to see me, if that makes sense.
I doubt it.
Well, I'm trying to think. So no one really told me where they were coming from. The interactions that I had was mainly just like, "Oh, like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, I love the streams and everything like that." And they asked me how the con was going. I would ask them how the con is going and stuff like that. They would tell me they watched the stream for however long, you feel me? But I don't know. I can't think of maybe like overseas, maybe like EU or UK or something like that. But I can't think of anywhere that's like crazy,
I mean, that's crazy, bro. They crossed the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, to come over. It's insane. Insane, man. All around the world. So
Wild.
cool. Yeah.
Wild.
All right, so with TwitchCon, what would you say was your favorite actual TwitchCon put on event that you were like a participant in? And then what was your favorite non TwitchCon official event like that you participated in?
Trying to think. So I really didn't go to any like specific TwitchCon events. I didn't go to like the TwitchCon party. I think I did go to the part. No, did I go to the partner party? I can't remember. I think I was late for that. But I don't think I went to an actual TwitchCon event. But I think the next, like the non TwitchCon event, it was either between the Stream Elements party. I know people was there, and yeah, that shit was lit. The Stream Elements party, or definitely the Phase party. The Razor one was sick though, because I feel like I had more friends there, right? And it was cool to kind of party with all my friends around and have that good time and stuff like that. But I think the Stream Elements one was really nice as well too, because there was just like a lot of streamers there that I look up to, and being in that setting and being able to kind of walk up to them, have a conversation, ask for a picture if I wanted to, and having them see me as another streamer and as another peer rather than like a fanboy or like a dick rider in a way is really, really cool, and I really like that aspect of it.
So, who was your favorite streamer that you might look up to that you met this weekend?
Bro. Okay, do you guys know who Berleezy is?
Not off the top
Okay,
of my
so
head.
he's one of the biggest black YouTubers out there, right? I think like 2 million subs on his main channel, 1 million on his second channel, 1 million on Instagram. He's really, really huge. But I look up to this dude, bro. I've been watching him for years. And he followed me a couple years ago, and he said he wanted to play Apex and stuff like that. But I finally got to meet him in person for the first time at the face party, and he gave me a big fucking hug, bro. He said, "I fuck with you, I love you," like all these different things. And just to see someone that I looked up to for so long, and I still continue to this day, and that like I idolized in a way, and I really looked up to him in terms of like content creation, and I really try to take little parts from his content creation and implement it in my own content, and to see him recognize me and to say like he fucks with me and to see me as a friend, dude, it really like made my whole weekend, honestly, because it was just so cool, bro. Like that's like probably the biggest and the number one guy that I look up to, and to see him kind of recognize me and be like, dude, I fuck with you, keep doing what you're doing, it made my heart so warm, bro. I almost cried, I'm not gonna lie.
Some might say levels.
Yeah, it was sick.
That's so sick. Well, I mean, this journey that you've been on has been crazy, and I think for a lot of people, they know if they've tuned in the stream all the time how you've gotten to this point. But for people who haven't, kind of go through your journey, your process, how you got to this point, and how you got into streaming, and how you saw yourself, get to where you are today.
Yeah, man, for sure. So I always have been playing video games all throughout my life. Like I actually come from a gaming family. Almost everybody in my family games except for my mom. I have 4 brothers and my dad, and they all game. And we all grew up on gaming and stuff like that. But when I first started streaming and getting into content creation was like 2013, 2014. I was actually streaming League of Legends and like Minecraft and shit like that. But I had like maybe 15, 20 viewers, and I wasn't taking it serious. It was a little hobby, just a little side thing, And I always found myself playing video games in my spare time anyways. And, I feel like I'm a jokester. I like making people laugh. I like, having a good time, the atmosphere and stuff like that, just catching a vibe. And so I was like, you know what? Why not give streaming a try again? So when Apex came out, that's when I kind of went into it full time. I was playing Fortnite before Apex came out. I was streaming in the beginning of 2019 for like a month. I was playing Fortnite, then Apex came out. And I remember too, because when Apex came out, all the big streamers from Fortnite went to go play Apex. And I was like, I'm not going to play Apex. I'm going to stick to Fortnite. I'm going to make a name for myself on Fortnite because literally nobody's playing it right now. But then my friends at the time, they begged me to play Apex. Like, bro, just try it. It's free. It's a new game, yada, yada. I was like, all right, bro, I'll fucking try it. And here we are today. I fell in love, man. And we've been playing it, since day one, and I have no soul left. So it's been a great journey so far.
You're not the
yeah,
only
that's pretty
one,
much.
Yeah, we've all lost our souls a little bit to this game.
Yeah, for
That's
sure,
just
bro. But yeah, that's kind of like the origin stories. Like I said, I've been gaming all my life. Like I grew up on like the Nintendo 64 and stuff like that, the GameCube. I pretty much had like every major console, like the Xbox 360, PS4. I had the Wii when it first came out too. I had a Nintendo DS. So pretty much just gaming all my life. Like whenever I have like free time, I'm pretty much gaming.
What was the first FPS?
First FPS was Halo 3 on the 360.
Fire.
Yeah, Halo 3, and then I went to MW2. And I remember too, when I told my parents for the first time that I was gaming online with other people, they freaked the fuck out. They're like, what? You're talking to strangers online? Like, don't be doing that, Andre. And then I had to convince them, and like I showed them that like I don't have to talk to them unless I want to, you know what I'm saying? But I'm also playing with my friends from like school and stuff like that. And so once they understood that like I'm not just completely playing with random people online, like I'm also partying up like with my friends and stuff like that, they kind of understood it better. And that's when they started buying me like Xbox Live and shit like that. And then when MW2 came out, I started getting into like trick shotting and like feeding and stuff like that. And I begged my parents to buy me a HD PVR, bro, for the longest time, for like 4 months, bro. I was like, Dad, please buy me an HD PVR so I can be with the cool kids and like can get invited into like 5-mans and 6-mans and shit like that so I could trick shot. And eventually he did. He was like, all right, son. And that's kind of like where I'd say I first gained like the experience of like content creation and like video editing and stuff like that. And kind of like the whole aspect of it is when I actually got the HD PVR and I had it hooked up to like my 360 and my shitty ass laptop that would get like 2 FPS whenever I was recording and it would overheat all the time. But that's like kind of like where it all started, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because there's always like a moment that people have where all of a sudden it goes from this is kind of something to holy shit, this is a thing. It was actually kind of funny because when we brought Peeps on the show for the first time, he had just hit like his moment. Like he had been grinding, he got to #1, and all of a sudden all these milestones just shattered, and then now he's on the main stage and shit. So that's how our guy had it. As far as you, do you have like a moment that sticks in your head, or was it just kind of like a consistent grind that just slowly went upward?
Yeah. So in the beginning of, I'd say like my streaming career, there was definitely a lot of moments, right? And I think my first initial moment is when I got hosted by Diego SoaR, right? And I was grinding to be the #1 Mirage in kills like on PC. And he was the #1 Mirage at the time. And nobody was playing Mirage back then when he was in his ass. You know, he really had like nothing to bring to the table. And he was just straight cheeks. You guys probably remember. And he hosted me, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy!" And it was like hosted for me for like 500 viewers, and you know, look at him now, and look at myself now. But I was like, "Oh my god, this is the craziest shit ever!" I was freaking the fuck out, bro. And so after that happened, you know, people from his stream, they would come and watch my stream, and it slowly started building up. But then after that, Noko, Taxi, and Wig, they all hosted me at the same time, bro. It was like 2 months later. They all hosted me. I was like, "Oh, freaking the fuck out, bro!" And
Just
so
like
then
the
I started.
Uber host. Wait,
Yeah,
what was peak view count after the triple?
After the triple, well, I saw around then I was averaging maybe like 150, 170 viewers, right? So I was like, okay, this is like nice. I like this. This is sick, bro. But then me, Madness, and Wig, we started playing together in Elite Queue. And we actually got, I think our record was like 129 top fives in a row or something like that. And so that like whole session that we had, I feel like that really kind of put my name out there for the Apex community and kind of like made my name like, I wouldn't say solidified, but it was like, okay, like we know Dre, like I've heard of that guy before. You know what I'm saying? And so that really, really helped a lot. And then from there, honestly, it's just been like slowly kind of gradually growing and growing and growing, and just like more opportunities keep coming apparent and, you know, making themselves known, and keep, you know, just more blessings in my life that I'm all thankful for. You know what I'm saying? But those were like the two big, like pivotal moments, or I'd say three in a way, that kind of like builded it up until like what it is now. And then, like I said, it's been like slowly kind of growing and like snowballing. You know, the snowball just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So you
Yes,
said
sir.
you've been gaming all your life, right?
Yep.
Give me the top 3 games that made you the gamer who you are today.
That's hard, bro. There's so many good games over how many fucking years? 15, 16 years, bro?
If not more.
I'm gonna think of my answer. As well, because that's a fire question.
Hard. Yeah, that is the top 3 games that made me who I am. I'd probably say MW2 for sure.
All mine.
Probably Maple Story, right? Because yeah, that dude, I grinded the fuck out of Maple Story. I actually love MMOs. Like I used to play Final Fantasy 14 a lot. WoW, of course, Diablo as well. So like that's like my go-to like off-stream genre. Like I love MMOs. But definitely Maple Story. I'm trying to think. Probably Apex, if I'm being real.
I mean, you got
Apex, bro.
You got
to include it in that one. Yeah. So those are definitely the top 3: MW2, Maple Story, and Apex.
All right, that's a solid lineup. Did not expect the Maple Story, I will say. That's out of left field.
I was not expecting the Maple Story as well.
A lot of people actually don't expect for me to be into MMOs or like those type of games. You know what I'm saying? But I fucking love them, bro. My brothers actually kind of grew up on that mainly, and that's kind of like what got me into it. They would all play Final Fantasy. Like they would literally bring their friends over and have like a LAN in our living room, like 4 of them just all playing Final Fantasy. It was fucking lit.
I love that.
But yeah, that's what I grew up on.
E and Wyatt, I need to turn that question to you guys, man. Top 3 games that made you guys the gamers that you guys are today.
Okay, I'm gonna go Prime. Overwatch 1 in the early days was insanely fun. So I'm gonna go Overwatch 1. This one is my left field one. I don't know if you guys ever played the online, or maybe even the story mode, but Uncharted 3 online was like Apex before Apex. It was the only thing different was it was third person, but there was no fall damage. It had like you didn't really need to aim. It was more just about your movement. And so that I played forever. And then obviously I'd probably say Apex.
Yep. Bro, Uncharted 3,
it was
that
so
was
underrated.
Dude, I loved it, bro. I remember grinding that game for like a month straight to get the platinum trophy so I could have Genghis Khan in the multiplayer and I could get like a little sweat, bro. I remember being like 12 years old grinding that shit.
If you saw a Genghis Khan in game, you're like, I'm fucked. Like it's done.
Yeah, like I'm fucking dead, bro.
Yeah, I'm not winning.
And I would play it like in my dad's like little like man cave because he had the PS4 in there, or like the PS3 at the time, and he had it in there and he didn't want to bring it out of his man cave, so I would like have to like sneak in sometimes and shit like that. And I'm like literally gaming on like a 60-inch TV, bro. Yeah, like fucking 4-second input delay back then.
It was literally like there was a mode called 3-team deathmatch, and me and one of my best friends, that was the most I've ever sweat, and it could be the dead of winter outside, and I would be sweating trying to win those matches. Like I loved that game so much, man.
It would get sweaty, bro. It was a serious game back then.
It was very serious, yeah. E, what was yours?
Yeah, so I'm going to give multiple answers for each of my things because I got to tie Star Wars Battlefront on the PS2, 1 and 2 are like collectively as a package, just in my opinion was like prime PS2 gaming.
Yes.
And then when I go from that phase to my 360 days, it's MW2 and then Halo 3.
Yep.
That was like I would say was like the two games that really were my 360 days. And then obviously like I would say Apex, like because like it's the game that I've started doing as like my career, but I wouldn't have ever gotten into Apex if it wasn't for Fortnite. And so Fortnite was the first game that I started like playing, got serious about. I thought I was going to play Fortnite for like when I was like a senior in college, I was thinking it was like, oh, I'm going to be playing Fortnite for the next 5 years. Like, and Apex had came out, and that was right when Apex had came out. I got my PC to play Fortnite, but like on controller. Because I mean, even then I wasn't thinking about playing MK because too much time in. Yeah, I mean, come on, like why?
I agree.
And then played Fortnite, and then eventually started playing Apex, dabbling, started playing like season 3. And so like I would put so I mean, if for my first 2 I gave 2 games, I might as well say Fortnite and Apex as my last third game, even though I listed 6.
We'll take it. We'll accept
it.
I will say this: Fortnite was a blast. It was the first game after I think Black Ops 2 to maybe pull all nighters with the fellas, right? But once they added crossplay into it, I mean, crossplay, right? The PC and console together.
Yeah.
So I was still on PS3 at the time, or PS4. I think it was PS4.
Yeah.
I would shoot somebody, and they would automatically turn into a 6-story building within 0.2 seconds. And I thought to
Yeah, you
myself,
just gotta get good.
This isn't the game for me.
Yeah, it sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah, it sounds like we're hearing big skill issue.
I mean, even on Builder Pro, I couldn't react that fast.
It was
And I like,
difficult.
fuck that, dude.
Dude,
was hard,
when
bro.
I first started playing Fortnite, I was like one of the dudes who would be like posted up, sitting, hiding in a bush, hiding in a like a shed.
I'd be
And
so
then-
scared.
And then eventually, after season, I was like, oh wait, you can just run around and just kill everybody and just be the best. I was like, let me do that. That seems way more fun than this. Hide in a bush, wait for a guy to
my
run by.
I remember those days too when I first started playing, and I would play solos mainly. And oh my god, I would freak out if it was like a top 5 situation. I'm like, oh my god, the dub's right here, bro. The dub's right here. And I'd start shaking and shit.
Nah,
My heart would be
Fortnite
pounding.
dubs were different. They were absolutely different when they first came out. I
They were different.
don't think I will ever be able to win a game of Apex like at the current point of where I'm at now and get as hype as I would like one of my OG like
Same.
Fortnite wins. Like there's just no shot.
Same, bro. Because I mean, we do it so often. It's almost just like nice.
Yeah.
You know, that's it.
So
I
I
was
gotta
telling
ask.
one, go
ahead, Wyatt.
Sorry, my bad. I was gonna say, I was telling one of my friends earlier that Fortnite, when you get the win, has the higher like ceiling of like how good you feel, but Apex overall is just a better experience. Like when you're just playing rather than Fortnite, at least in my opinion, I felt like that was kind of how it feels. Because when you get a win in Fortnite, it just feels next level. Like it feels insane. And when you win in Apex, it's like not as many people, doesn't take as long, games aren't as long. But when you're, let's say you get in like a really good fight where you fend off like a third party, maybe even a fourth party, when you're done with that, you're like, holy shit, that was insane. Like that was peak, you know? Like that's I've always described it that way.
And it's so fulfilling too.
So I gotta ask.
Wyatt is our
fellas.
casual king.
Casual? Oh man, nah.
Yeah, Wyatt's our casual king.
We gotta put some respect on
our
his name,
casual
man.
representation.
He said,
I wouldn't take that, Wyatt. Don't accept that, man. You
No,
better.
dude, I'm terrible. I'm
Wyatt,
just
you
so
were
bad.
season 17 master, right?
Huh?
Were you season 17 master?
I've never been master. The highest I've
You
been
didn't
is
even
diamond.
do it when it was free?
it was free.
No, it was free, but I wouldn't have felt good having it. Like it was.
That's what I like. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. I think the highest I've gotten is Diamond 4. And I've gotten that
It's not bad.
3 or
If
4
you got
times.
Diamond 4,
but-
you could have you had it in the bag.
Yeah, but
You had it in the bag. You had it
it
on
just didn't
lock.
feel good, bro. It just didn't
Yeah,
feel
that's
right.
I
respectable.
like that.
Respectable.
Yeah, no, it's definitely respectable.
I mean, that is a very much a casual king
Yeah.
move.
That's why I have the crown and others don't. That's why.
Exactly. You know what they have? They have their master's badge. They don't have the crown.
Yeah, and Wyatt still has his dignity.
Yep, I still got it. Still got it.
So, fellas, we were talking about special feelings, right? I don't think there's a feeling as special back in OG Apex of getting your first 20 bomb. Like you earned it. It was before, or like a 4K before damage on thirst count. Do you guys still remember your first ever 20 bomb?
Ew.
Talk to us, Trey. Talk to us.
It's hard to forget it, you know. I was playing Mirage, you know, on the OG KC, and I was playing with the 3-stack at the time, you know. And they were like feeding me kills, but I remember I got like the first like 12 or 13 kills like on my own, just popping off in Skull Town. And I was like, wait, boys, there's potential here. And it was like within like the first month of the game being out. I was like, wait, there's potential here, boys. I was like, okay, keep feeding me these kills, right? And they just kept feeding me and feeding me and feeding me. And eventually I got it, bro. And I think I actually dropped like 21 or 22. And I remember being like it was the final zone around bunker, bro. And I remember getting like the last kill and winning the game. And I fucking jumped up and I screamed. And it was on stream too, bro. I literally almost like shit myself, bro. I was so excited. I was like, ah! I fucking loved it, bro. I was shaking too by the end of it. I could like barely hold my mouse, bro. Because it was so nerve-wracking, especially back then. You know, when the game was so fresh, bro, and like being able to kind of get those amount of kills and that much damage, bro. Oh my God. Hands are shaking, bro. Whole body's shaking, everything.
You know, it's funny. My first ever 20 bomb, it was, remember that little house, that little hut south of bunker? It was like a solo house right by the hill where they have like that dam looking thing now.
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Right by the river houses, bro.
Yeah.
I was playing solos, end up 2 teammates die out, can't get their banners. So I'm like, dude, I need some firepower. I picked up a Kimbo Spitfires. All right.
Oh God, when it was bonkers and you use heavy ammo?
Dude, back when they were 60 round mags for them, right?
20 damage per bullet.
So I had 2 of them, and dude, I solo clutched the last like 5 teams, bro. And I remember just like getting up and screaming. And I still have that video on my Snapchat somewhere.
Wait, were you guys the type to post like your wins and stuff like that on Snap?
Oh,
I used
fuck
to do
yeah.
that.
From my Fortnite, of course. I would force my
bro.
Fortnite.
I would do that all the time, bro. I used to rock the John Wick skin too in Fortnite, bro. And I thought I was like the craziest when I would post it all the time on my Snap after getting a dub. I'm like, yeah, I'm like that. I'm like that guy, you know?
And I still like, people will roast people for that. I look back on those videos and I just laugh because they're so funny, dude. Because like you see yourself fresh after like a crazy win and you're just sweating. Like I remember one, I'm wearing a bandana. I don't know how I've never worn a bandana. I don't know why I'm wearing one. Like I was just like getting the sweat off my forehead to try and win games. Like those videos are awesome, man. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, of course, bro.
Oh, I love that. So, right, little bit of a topic switch here, right? Number 1, you just turned 25 the other day.
Oh so, God, don't remind me.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday, my man.
Thank you. I appreciate it yesterday.
I wish you the best year of your life, man, and I sincerely mean it.
Appreciate it, brother.
What are some like goals that you have as a streamer or life goals that you maybe want to hit this year or, you know, before you're 30?
Yeah, before I'm 30, I definitely want to buy a house, right, with my father. My father told me a couple years ago that he cares about me so much and he loves me very much and he wants me to be taken care of even when he's gone. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, son, I'm willing, because my dad owns his house right now. He's like, son, I'm willing to sell this house and go in halvesies on a house with you and get something bigger. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what, Dad? I'm fucking down for that. So I've been saving up for the past couple of years and I want to do that before I'm 30, you know, or at least like by 30. So I would definitely want to buy a house. I also want to get into modeling, right? Like in my later 20s and stuff like that. I want to start modeling and shit like that. Maybe for some different, you know, clothing lines and stuff like that. It's always been an interest of mine.
You got the looks for it.
Thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Streaming wise, definitely, I think for this year, definitely want to hit 200K followers. I'm at like 136 right now. So this next year, I want to hit, you know, 200K. I'm also doing this podcast now too, you know, speaking of, since we're on a podcast, I'm doing this podcast now too, where we talk about mental health of streamers, right? And we talk about the things that we deal with off camera, you know, the things that we typically don't talk about online, you know, the imposter syndrome, always comparing ourselves to others, never feeling like we're good enough with our content, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And we actually recorded the first episode already with Mr. Timmy. And so it was fucking, you know, it was phenomenal. It was great. Sorry to be self-promoing, right? But
no, plug it. No, we are
what's
big.
the name?
We endorse the self-promo.
It's called
around
Behind the
these parts
Screen
here.
with Draynilla.
There you
I
go.
love that, bro.
Yeah, behind the
Go
screen.
check it out.
And yes, Sirski. And that first episode should be out. I want it to be out by the end of this month, but if not, then sometime early next month. But yeah, I want to do that. And that's something that I've really been trying to build up because in my streaming career, I know Apex is not going to be around forever. And for me personally, I love talking about topics like that. And I love just having those type of conversations and being open like that and being vulnerable because I feel like so many people benefit from it because nobody talks about it in our industry, because people think, their viewers or their peers are going to look at them differently or think that, whatever, you know what I'm saying? However they want to look at it. So I kind of want to break that and kind of bring some normality to it and hopefully bridge that gap between streamer and viewer and between streamer and streamer and hopefully look at it in a better light because like I said, nobody looks at it, but it's there. We all deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So why not talk about it? So I wanted to do that and I kind of want to build that up and continue to do that while I play Apex or while I still stream whatever game I'm streaming. So that's another goal of mine. And, I want to continue to build that up. Continue with the gym, eating right, taking care of myself, stuff like that, making sure my family's taken care of, making sure they're all healthy and all in good faith and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. Also get sponsored by another energy drink company. I used to be with G Fuel, but not no more. So I would love to get sponsored by another energy drink company like Juvie or some shit,
Love that.
Yeah, Juvie would
seriously.
go hard. The
I know.
Juvie, that would go crazy.
Yeah,
I
and
wonder
I'm
when they're
here
going to
in
get
LA.
into that.
Yeah, and I'm here in LA too, so it just makes sense,
How long have you been in LA for?
For about a year now. Well, I've lived in Southern California all my life. I was born and raised here. But now I actually live in downtown LA. And it's low key. It smells like piss and poop all the time. And there's crackheads everywhere too. And there's a lot of traffic and shit like that. And it's very expensive. But I like the opportunities here. Like I think just being here, and just being in the area, you get so many opportunities and you meet so many cool people. So I enjoy that aspect of it more than all. And I think that's like probably what's worth it most of all to me.
Yeah, man, that's just the whole state. If you think it smells bad over there, bro, I live in Fresno, and it's just way worse.
God,
it's way worse, brother.
Yeah,
it's way worse, brother.
Yeah. I'm originally from the IE in like San Bernardino County, so I'm where my family is about an hour away from me. And I like the suburbs a lot more, but I also do like the city. The city's very convenient, and it's very nice to look at too.
100%.
So that's actually a question I had written down for you here, Dre. Because last year used to live here in Austin. With all the scumbags
Texas,
hanging
baby.
out. Yep. What is what's the biggest difference for you, right, between LA? Because there's a large community of Apex streamers out in LA.
Sure.
There's a large community of Apex streamers here in Austin. They might be the two biggest, cities with Apex streamers in a close area. What's the biggest differences, right? And what do you prefer?
I'd say the biggest differences is that Austin is filled more with like the competitive Apex players, right? And like the pro scene, and LA is filled more of like the content creators and like the people who just kind of like dick around and vibe out. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely still ranked players and like competitive people here, but for the most part, I feel like a lot of the pro players, in the comp scene is definitely in Austin. I liked Austin for how cheap it was and how genuine people were as well too, like the Southern hospitality. Because in LA, you just don't get that. People are assholes. People are straight up dicks. People are kind of manipulative and shit like that. And Austin, bro, you just really don't kind of see that. All the friends that I made there, and especially Peeps, bro, and Onmu and everybody who lived in your house, man, just showing me so much love, so much compassion, and just having a great fucking time, whenever we hang out. In LA, I feel like here I have more mutuals than I do friends, and it's almost like acquaintances and like business partners in a sense, rather than actual like genuine friends. I'm not saying I don't have friends here and like genuine people, but I feel like more so here, people only really want to like hang out if you're going somewhere or like you're doing something together where you could post on Instagram and kind of like flex that in a way, you know what I'm saying? But in Austin, people just don't give a fuck, and like they would just want to hang out just because, you know what I'm saying? Just because like you're friends and you spend some time with one another, But if I had to choose one, it's so hard because if my family wasn't a factor, I would probably live in Texas, Austin, Texas. But since my family means so much to me and they're so close to me, I got to choose LA, bro. I got to be close to my family. And that's a big reason why I moved back too, just because I want to be closer to my family.
I love that. And this is something I wanted to ask you earlier when you were talking about your dad, right? So one thing you told me last year is you actually bought your dad a car.
I did.
Right? Which is, do I got to say it, fellas? Levels.
You can say it.
Just some light.
I was
light,
I was hoping one of you guys would fill in the blank there. How does it feel to get to a point in your life, right, where you're able to literally buy your dad a car. Let me say it again. Buy your dad a car, bro. Like, and being able to help out people because of fucking video games, bro. How does that feel?
Yeah, video games and streaming, man. It's a very beautiful feeling, man. I'm not a big materialistic person, and neither is my father, neither is any of my family, to be honest. They raised me to always care about the things in life that you can't buy with money, of course, like love. Well, I mean, you can buy, obviously, you can kind of buy love with money, but like in terms of like happiness and joy and stuff like that, and, meaningful connection and relationships, you can't buy that. And so my parents always taught me that, but my dad was complaining for the longest time. He has a Beamer, and it was always breaking down on him, always fucking up. It was way too expensive in maintenance, and he was always complaining that he just wanted another car. And I was, you know what, Dad, I got you. And I actually didn't even tell him. What I did is that I told him, because I didn't have a car at the time, I told him that I was going to go buy a car for myself. And so I bought the car, fully paid off, and I drove it home, and I gave him the keys. I was like, Dad, this is your car. And it was a really surreal feeling, man. It was very beautiful. We cried. I told him I loved him. He loved me. He was very proud of me. You know what I'm saying? It was beautiful, bro. And my father means so much to me because he's taught me so much in my life, and he really is a role model, and he really is like my real life superhero. He takes care of himself in every way. He's super healthy. I don't know if you guys saw my Twitter post too, but he recently turned 71, and he's born on October 13th. And so every year on his birthday, he runs 13 miles, and he did it as a 71-year-old, bro.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he is so healthy. He's been vegan for like 30 years. He doesn't drink or smoke anything like that. And he told me one day, I asked him, I was like, Dad, why do you do all this? Like, why do you, have this type of lifestyle and you maintain like such a healthy, kind of lifestyle? And he said, you know what, son? I do this because I want to spend more time on this earth with my favorite son. And I was like, Dad, bro, it was so sweet. But getting back to the question at hand, being able to do something like that. Well, that's a whole nother story. It's a long story. But
did not know he was 71, bro.
Yeah,
Holy
he does
crap,
not look
man.
71. He looks like mid 40s.
Black don't crack,
baller.
baby.
It really don't crack. It really don't,
my
bro.
God, man. I thought he was like
bro.
late 50s max.
Yeah. Most people think that too, bro. And even his doctors tell him, like, yeah, you have the body of like a 50-year-old. Keep doing what you're doing. And he plans to live to 100. And like that's another reason why he kind of does what he does, because he wants to live for as long as possible and like preserve his body.
Savage.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it was very a beautiful feeling, bro. It was very nice. And just being able to kind of do that, for someone that I truly care about and someone that I love, and being able to give back in a way, it really, really did mean a lot. But also it kind of showed my dad that yelling at my monitor for 8 hours a day isn't just me yelling at my monitor for 8 hours a day. It's a little bit more than that. And once he saw that, he was like, okay, like, Andre, he'll be all right. Like, because when I first started streaming, my parents were so against it. They're like, no, like go to school, get a typical education, get a degree, go work for 40 years and retire. Because that's exactly what they did, and that's kind of like what our whole family did. They're like, yeah, just kind of follow, the steps that are kind of written out for you. You know what I'm saying? And I was the black sheep of the family for a while because none of them really kind of believed in me. They're like, nah, just go back to school. You know what I'm saying? And so once I was able to do that and to show them that not only one, I got money like that, but also two, I'm willing to kind of, share it with them. Right. And I'm not just kind of hoarding it for myself. They're like, oh, okay, he'll be all right. He'll be taken care of, So it was a really nish feeling, man.
I'm going to have to say it might not be that they didn't believe in you. Right. Because I think you're selling your family short on that. Right. Because just based on the person that you are, the amount of time I spent with you, it makes me feel like you were raised to feel like you could do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Very true.
Right. And that's your parents. I think what it is and what it was, and I went through the same exact thing, right? Our parents didn't grow up with, one, the internet, two, video games, really, like it was brand new. But three, like streaming and content creation, that's not
heard of.
It was not a real fucking thing. You know,
it really wasn't. 10 years ago, you would be made fun of for being a gamer or a YouTuber or whatever, And nowadays, after COVID, everybody wants to be one.
Yeah, you like try to hide it almost. You're just like,
exactly. I remember
it's not mine.
Yeah. Exactly. I remember a big reason why I took a break, like from like content creation or like streaming in the first place. Because like I mentioned, I used to stream like Minecraft and League of Legends and shit. But when I started going into high school, my friends would make fun of me for it. They're like, "Oh, you stream, bro? Like that's whack," like, "Oh, that's lame, bro." And so that's why I stopped. But like you said, peeps, like it is such a different game now, bro. The industry has evolved in such crazy ways. It's so volatile and it's only growing, bro. It's only getting better. It's only getting bigger. And it's so insane to be in a position like now, bro, to be able to do what we do. It's fucking crazy. It's actually genuinely insane.
One of the fastest growing industries in the world of video
Yeah.
game business.
Yup.
But not only that, to all your friends that told you, calling you a loser for playing video games and
Yup.
streaming, look at you now.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And guess what? They in the DMs too. Oh, congratulations, man. Oh, I'm happy for you. Good stuff, bro. Love to see what you're doing. Yeah, shut your bitch ass up, bro. Shut your ass up. I remember when you were hating, dog.
Yeah. So, that's going to translate into my next question here. All right. And this is for all three of you fellas. When you guys started, getting into streaming and all that, did you guys get any real support from friends you had in high school or college, or like, how was that for you guys?
None. I didn't even get support from the guys who were on the show with me. Like it was crazy because they were like, well, we just do this for fun during the week. And because I started off with, this is how Finn found me, was I started off doing Grab My Banner. And that was just a podcast. We just made jokes about Apex. And I did it with my best friends that I've been best friends with for 10 plus years. And so I started it. And it was like, yeah, I had all these plans. I was like, okay, if we do this, we can put this here. This video can go up there. We can get views from this, all this different type of stuff. And they just didn't really like, oh, okay, cool. I kind of felt like a kid who they were just grabbing my little picture that I drew and putting it on the fridge. Like, oh, we'll put it right here. Cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
Awesome. And then
Yeah.
you'd be like, I didn't even want to tell them if we got views or anything anymore, because I just felt like they were just like, oh, thumbs up, champ. And then eventually when, I was using TikTok a lot and we had like our first big video, then they were like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden, you're getting hit up and like Manscaped comes by and they're like, hey, we want to give you guys a trial. Like, then it started to get real for them and like, oh shit, he was right. We just had to work. And that's, and then now I'm here. But yeah, early on, it was definitely not even the people I was doing it with believed. And I didn't want to tell anybody because like people from work or from school would try to follow the page. I would block them. I would just straight up block them. I was like, I don't want anybody to know. I was almost embarrassed of it. Like you said, like when
That is funny.
people didn't even really make fun of me. It was just, I knew that there was the chance that they could, and I didn't want to deal with it. And I would just, that's what I did. What about you?
Yeah.
E?
I started off because I had a 14 kill game playing squads in Fortnite, and I was like, I'm fucking nasty. I'm streaming. And my best friend at the time, his girlfriend, she was like, oh yeah, you should definitely stream. And so then I started streaming on my PS4, and at the time, like, I wouldn't say that I got really, like, outside of like that, like those like few people, everybody else for like the most part would make fun of it. And then even like when I was a senior in my fraternity and I had like my PC, and I was actually like, and in my head at the time, I had already decided that I was going to take a year off after college to like pursue streaming full time. And I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna do it. But I would get shit talked by my fraternity's like second chef Ted. We had Mike and Ted, and Chef Ted would like almost, not every time, but almost every time, give me like some remark about it. And it's here we are here.
Not Ted, bro. Fuck Ted.
That boy Ted.
fuck
No,
Ted and Mike.
Ted was doing the best he could. I got absolutely no bad feelings for Ted. I mean, and then even like some of the guys would be like, "Oh, are you making any money from it?" And I'd be like, well, no, not yet, because I mean, like, you don't have anything.
Always,
and dude, it's just like,
bro.
it's like, oh, and I was like, and I would always answer like, no, but I mean, I'm not really expecting to make anything for at least like a year or two. But yeah, it definitely, you just got to not care.
Yeah,
And
you really.
I don't think, I mean, I think at all stages of throughout like your content creation journey, you just can't care, because when you're starting out, you can't care about all the other people's opinions about you doing it. You just got to be doing it because you enjoy doing it, and you just got to not give a fuck. And then once you get to the point where you're actually like big and established, then you have to also remain in the point of, I can't care about these people's thing, because once you put anything out online, everybody and their brother is going to have their opinion about it, and they're going to more than likely share it with you, especially if you're somebody who's garnered attention. And you just simply, just as you couldn't care about all the people IRL whose opinions they had of you, you just can't care about all these random ass people online who are more than willing to share their opinion of you.
Yep.
And so
Very
I
well
think
said.
like you just can't, I just don't get how you could get into content and allow yourself to be like emotionally wrapped up in the opinions of other people, because I feel like you're setting yourself up for failure and just a rough time. Because like if you allow like that stuff to affect you, like you're putting yourself in just like a torture chamber.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, it's the internet, bro. People are just always going to say whatever's on their mind or whatever their take is on a specific, like, topic or anything like that, bro. It's always the worst.
Dude, and
It's
despite
the worst.
how little information, they'll see one tweet, boom,
Yup.
this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, or like one clip. Yeah. They'll see one clip, bro, not even the whole picture, and just automatically pick a side, bro, without knowing anything about it. And that's like one of my biggest pet peeves too, is like when people say like their take on a certain like, topic or anything like that. It's like, bro, nobody asked. Nobody cares, bro. Like, you don't have to like say your take on certain things, bro. Like, it's the fucking internet, man. Like, you don't always have to be so wrapped up in like drama or anything like that too. And like what you said, like people are always gonna say something, bro. Something. No matter how good you are, you could cure cancer, and people are like, "Oh, why didn't you do it sooner?" Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, dog, come on.
Yeah, I think going back to E's point too, it's like you just can't not care. How would you get into content creation if you did care? I think sometimes you don't think about that type of thing until it actually happens to you. Like you're putting stuff out, and for the most part, it's like, oh, that's awesome. And then you start getting positive feedback. And then all of a sudden, that first negative comment rolls in, and it hits you weird because you're like, wait, why did they say that?
Yeah.
Did they even listen to this? Did they even see the full thing? And then you want to explain it to them, and then you realize it's the internet and you can't. But you only realize that after your first few tussles with it. Like you don't just get it immediately. It's like
A few bouts.
Yeah, there has to be a few bouts, and then you're like, okay, there's no point to even engage at all. Like there's just no point.
Seriously, no point, because you're not gonna win. People are gonna like dissect everything that you say, like, oh, you didn't say this, or you didn't say anything about that, or whatever, yada yada, bro. People are always gonna have something to say, bro.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to have their own,
of course,
opinion and perception of certain situations. But then at the same time, everybody is equally entitled to not care about their opinion or perception of a situation.
Yep, exactly.
I think that's actually a good question for you, Dre. Is like you talked about the podcast and how you want to talk about more things that streamers go through, and maybe the other side of the coin that people don't see. I think for viewers, they're like, wow, this must be awesome. I wish I could do this. They get to game and talk to people and make all this money. Like, that's so cool. But there is a dark side to this industry. It's a lot of work, a ton of work to stay sometimes just in the middle, and you're just grinding, and you're constantly dealing with new people coming in and all this other stuff. For you, what has been the biggest struggle, whether it be dealing with haters, whether it be dealing with the mental just like shutdown sometimes that happens? Like, what is it for you that has been the biggest struggle?
Yeah, man. I'm so glad you answered this question, because I love talking about it, because I actually came out of it and I feel like it made me a better person overall. But my biggest struggle was that I kind of lost myself in the midst of the grind and everything that this content creation is. And last year I fell into a depression, bro, because I was streaming so much and I was grinding so much and I was doing all these things that like I wanted to do and that I loved. But I lost myself because I devoted so much of my time and energy to streaming. I didn't have any other aspect of my life. Like I didn't have really that many friends. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was just ordering DoorDash every day and just pretty much streaming all day. Just stream, sleep, eat. And that was it, And like, it was good for the numbers and the views and like things were going up and stuff like that. But I just didn't have anything else to really look forward to in my life. And like, it made me sad, bro. Cause I was like, okay, what else? Like if streaming fell off, if I got banned, whatever, what would I do? Like, what do I have in my life? And so it took me a while to kind of figure out what I enjoyed again outside of my life, because I had to remind myself I had a life before streaming and I did things that I enjoyed before streaming. So I was like, okay, what do I enjoy? What do I like? What are things that bring me fulfillment and joy outside of content creation and streaming and stuff like that? So it took me about a year, honestly, up until I'd say June this year, from February last year. to kind of figure out what I wanted in my life and what I liked and things that I wanted to work towards outside of streaming. So that was probably one of my biggest struggles. And to anybody who's dealing with something like that, I say it's okay to take breaks in this field. A lot of people say don't take breaks, but you're going to eventually burn out. You're eventually going to hate it, bro. And you're not going to want to stream and you're not going to want to click that go live, because I went through the exact same thing. Like, it was a fucking struggle to go live every day because I was like, dude, I just don't want to do it. You know, I started to resent it. And you just got to find things that make you happy again, things that make you happy, things that bring you joy, and like, you know, cut anything out of your life that you don't like and things that you know are hindering you. Because I feel like deep down, everybody knows something that they can work on to be better or something that they can improve in their life. So you kind of have to tap into that, right? And do some soul searching and be like, okay, that's something that I should work towards. And as long as you keep going forward and as long as you keep trying new things, eventually you'll find something that sticks. And so I kept having to do that and try different things until I finally found things that actually stuck in my life that I did enjoy and that I did like outside of streaming. So that was one of my biggest struggles. And I'm glad that I'm at a point now, though, where I'm not dealing with those type of things. And I kind of have a routine and things that I do like to do outside of streaming and outside of like work technically, you know, because I didn't have any like work-life balance. It was just straight like streaming. And like I couldn't make that separation in my life between like my regular life and like streaming because it just got so intertwined, you know?
So what are those things?
Yeah, so I was a big car guy before I started streaming and stuff like that. So I've been like, you know, with my brothers, they love cars as well too. So we've been going to like car shows and shit like that and checking out that type of stuff. And like my brother's always telling me about the cars that he's working on and stuff like that. Spending more time with my family, of course, because they're a huge part of my life. And I felt like I wasn't spending enough time with them, like good quality time. So I've been doing that a lot more as well. Like I said, trying to take care of myself more in terms of like the gym and eating better and stuff like that. I've also been reading, bro. I love reading. I used to hate it, bro, but I actually started getting into it and actually like to be like, okay, fuck the phone, fuck everything else. But let's just sit down for like 20 minutes and like read a few chapters of a book, you know? And that's actually been really, really nice. Getting some sunlight too, going on nice, peaceful walks. It's so beautiful, bro. Journaling as well too. You know, actually writing things down. It's been so nice. Just like little things. Playing with my cat as well too. You know, just like little things that kind of bring me joy throughout the day that I try to do and try to fit in, you know, throughout my day that kind of keep me sane and be like, okay, like life ain't so bad, you know?
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Mm.
I mean, a lot of people like they see streamers, right? And they're like, "Oh, everything's great, everything's great." And I mean, I wouldn't change this for the world. Like there is no other job I would rather do than sit here on my ass, play video games, and talk to people from all over the world.
Yep,
right?
Yep, exactly.
So one of you guys did say, oh, Dre, you said that you couldn't, you know, decipher between Andre and Draynilla at a point.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Have you guys ever felt like you're almost living two lives? Because anytime I go back to Boston, bro, I feel like I'm back to my
Different
old
life.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's insane.
For sure. For sure. I definitely have felt like that. Yeah. Whenever I do go visit home too, like my parents and my family, they know I stream, but they don't know like the nitty gritty of it and like the full picture. You know what I'm saying? So they do kind of still assume that I stream or that I yell at my monitor 8 hours a day. And it's a little difficult to kind of explain the whole nitty gritty of it. But yeah, I definitely do. And especially if I go visit like old high school friends and stuff like that too, you know, like most of my high school friends that I still talk to, they know that I stream too. But like I said, they don't know like the full details. So at times I do feel like I'm living a double life. Yeah. But for the most part, I have made that distinction between streaming and almost like my real life now. And so it's been really a lot better in terms of my mental health to try to like, you know, decipher that and kind of separate the two. I have felt like that before, for sure.
It's a crazy feeling.
It is.
You know?
It almost doesn't feel real.
Nah. Why? What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, we've set a record here on this podcast for going, we're now at 53 minutes and 25 seconds. And we haven't even asked you a singular Apex question, which I think is a good thing. I actually think that is a sign of a great interview because we didn't have to go sit down and talk about this game, which at times can be tough to talk about. We didn't have to do that this time. We just went all the way through and just asked about your life, your streaming career, all that beautiful stuff without Apex really attached. It was loosely attached. It was loosely attached.
Talking about it, it was
sure. I didn't even
sprinkled
know it was that long.
Sprinkled in every now and
literally,
then.
yes.
Yeah.
So I want to ask thoughts on the game right now. I mean, obviously, you say it's not going to last forever. I think everybody knows that deep down. We all know that there's going to be a point where we have to say, all right, let's pack our bags, let's move on.
Of course.
We got new things, new horizons to go to. But as far as it's going right now, because it is still going, what are your thoughts on the game right now? How have you been feeling? And getting ready to head into season 19, the new Legend just dropped, or Conduit, yes.
Conduit, yeah.
How are you feeling heading into season 19? Because I've seen on your Twitter feed a little bit. Looks like you have some excitement for what's coming in season 19.
I do. I think a lot of people are going to be excited for season 19. There's a lot of cool changes that are coming and stuff like that. Right now, to be honest, I know a lot of people hate on the game, but I still enjoy it. I like the game. I enjoy it. I think it's a great game. I can't see myself honestly playing anything else. And that's kind of like the mindset that I have. I'm like, okay, if I wasn't playing Apex, what would I be playing? And probably the only game would be COD, but like, I don't want to play COD. You know, it's as simple as that. And so I take it for what it is. And I know a lot of people on Twitter, especially, they're always complaining and saying what they could do better. And like, you know, they're not changing this, that, what, yada, yada. But I've learned that over time and like over the years of playing Apex, you got to just take it for what it is, you know, and see it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Look at the game at hand that we have. It has improved over the years. It has gotten better. If you look at the game when it first released to what it is now, it's definitely gotten better. You know what I'm saying? They have made some stupid changes before, but they also listen and they revert them, you know? And I think the developers really do genuinely care about the game and the community. It's EA that's a little you know what I'm saying? But Respawn, they do genuinely care. But I enjoy the game. But I think that's also partly because I recently switched from MK2 roller, you know, and I fucking love it. I love aim assist, bro. It's so insane. And I think learning a new input in a way, but still playing the same game has been enjoyable for me because it almost feels like a new game to me. And I was playing MK for so long, but now that I switched, I almost have to like relearn the game in a way. And it's like kind of something to work towards and like be better on controller. You know what I'm saying? So I've been enjoying it. I think Apex is great, bro. It's definitely one of my favorite games of all time.
What was your favorite era?
Favorite era? I think when Horizon first released, season 7, that was definitely my favorite era, bro. Yes, when Olympus came out and Horizon came out, I think everybody, one, was satisfied with the game and enjoying it. And also, two, everything just felt good, bro. Like the weapons, man, the balancing, bro. Horizon was a little OP, I will definitely state that and agree. But overall, people were just enjoying it, bro. They were just having fun, man. It was a brand new, colorful map because I think up until that point, we just had like KC and World's Edge. And so now we got Olympus, which is completely brand new, and it was up in the air. It was so colorful. It looked so cool. It was so different. I was like, damn, this shit is lit. And so season 7 or my second one after that would probably be season 3 because that's when World's Edge released and that's when crypto came out and that's when everybody was like super hyped and the game was still fairly new and shit like that. So it's definitely season 3 and season 7.
Good picks.
Yes, sir.
So what are some of the things that you think Apex, EA, Respawn are doing well, right? And what are some things that you think they could be doing better?
I think in terms of skins, I think they're doing pretty well. I think recently the skins have been very, very good, right? And in terms of also listening to the community on certain topics, I think they're really good at. But also on the other side of the coin, I think in terms of skins, they could cut back and just implement more actual game mechanics and like gameplay and like LTMs in the game rather than just having like a new heirloom released every season or like every mid-season, you know? Like we want to be able to play the game in different ways. We want to be able to try new guns, new legends, you know, new little tweaks of the game, you know what I'm saying? So I think in terms of like actual like the skins and shit like that, they do a great job. But in terms on, like I said, on the other half, they release too many in my opinion. And we just want to see some more actual like gameplay shit, bro. But overall, I think they do a pretty solid job.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I do fully understand this is a business. You know, it's a multi-billion-dollar business for EA. You know, and we need them to make money to be able to keep pushing this game out so we can keep playing it, you know, because anytime I play another FPS game, I'm like, fuck, this isn't Apex. You know?
Exactly, so bro.
It's just, it's got the best movement in any shooter that I've ever played.
It does, bro.
Everything.
What I like What I like about it too, sorry to cut you off, my bad.
No.
But what I like about it too is that I feel like in Apex, it's like the only game where like if you get caught out or like you make a stupid play in a way, you can still almost come back from it. You know what I'm saying? And like change the tides of the fight. You know what I'm saying? In
Outplay
Warzone or in
potential.
COD, bro, yeah, like the outplay potential is so high in Apex. Like in Warzone, you get sniped, you get a headshot, you're just dead, bro. Like it's just GG's. You know what I'm saying? You can't do anything about it.
Big boy
Fortnite's
hide
kind of
and
similar.
seek.
Yeah.
Is what Warzone is.
Yeah, it literally is, bro. And like Fortnite's kind of similar in a way, you know, you don't die as fast in Warzone, but it's definitely not as high of a TTK as Apex, you know? So I feel like Apex is like the only FPS BR right now where it still has that outplay ability. And that's something that I really, really do like in the game. And that's what continues to keep me playing because like I do stupid shit all the time. You know, like I always make dumb plays, bro. I'm always trying to send it and hit a clip and shit like that. But if I do something stupid, like I said, there's always a chance to like recover from it, you know?
Absolutely. So, I mean, it just Apex, I think, is the pinnacle of BRs, right? To the point that Warzone has taken so many ideas from Apex, implemented into the game. Fortnite has done the same, you know, and it just goes to show you how good the game is when the two other biggest brands, which might even be bigger than Apex, I believe they are copying what you're doing. You know,
literally.
But I think this summer, right? Well, technically the fall, they just came out with their first event having to do with like a collab with Post Malone. I don't necessarily. Was it this Halloween event or something? Because I was traveling.
No, it's they still have to announce it. So they did like a teaser video. I think it'll be the first 2 weeks of the new season, I believe, is what it's going to be.
God.
But I'm super excited for that because I love Post Malone, and I'm pumped. I'm very excited to see what that is. But it is cool because it's a collab, and they haven't done it before. So going back to your point, like that's really cool.
I think it's
it looks sick.
Yeah, no, I think it's opening doors for things that we've wanted for so long because you look at Fortnite, bro. I think one thing that Fortnite absolutely kills it on is all these collabs. You know, with the NFL, with Star Wars, with Marvel, like
anime, Naruto, JJK.
I swear they have
all
everything.
That
Every
shit.
collab.
Swear they have
every
everything.
collab you could possibly think of is they've
in
done.
that game.
I saw Travis Scott doing Master of Puppets while there was a bunny rabbit jumping up and down, and then Boba Fett was watching as well. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
And then
I was
Master
like,
Chief pulled up with
but it was
Darth
awesome.
Vader.
I was like, "Yes, that's so sick." And for Apex, I think I don't know if they can do exactly like the way Fortnite did it by having
they
like
do. I mean, there are some skins where it's just like you look at it and you're like, how are they not paying?
They have
Are they not
somebody?
so
Are they
much.
There's like the Bangalore
dude.
skin that looks 100%. That Night King from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Clear as day.
That blue one,
like 100%. Not even close.
They do it in a different way,
So
but
many
if
more.
they were able to come up and do it more forward, I think it would be good. I think it would be a good thing overall. Like they're doing, hopefully with Post. I hope he gets one skin. I want Pathfinder with the face tats. That's what I want.
That would be
Oh my
hard,
God,
honestly, or maybe even Octane, because I think he means Octane, right?
I
I think it is going to be an.
fire.
I would be shocked if it's not an Octane skin. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think
that'd be
there's
so
some
fire.
video where there was an Octane like shadowed out where you couldn't see the skin.
Yeah.
But they were definitely teasing.
That's sick. I'm just hoping that like the Post Malone collab isn't just another 24 skins and like that's it. I'm hoping we get like some type of like LTM2 or like some type of like gameplay mode or like something in game that we can also look forward to and not just like another skin collection event, you know?
I'm super glad you brought up the LTM aspect of it too, because a long time ago, I think it was before season 13, I had actually done a breakdown. I was just curious one night, and I did a breakdown, and I went from seasons 1 through 13, and I broke it down into 2 halves, and I based it off of LTM days, meaning days that there was an LTM in the game at the time, versus skin days. Sometimes they would overlap, but I did like a count. The LTM days drastically dropped off after season 8 up to season 13, and it's probably dropped off even harder now. But when I did that calculation, the first 8 seasons, we had month-long LTMs. We had like month-long ones. Like it was crazy. And then after season 8, everything kind of just fell off a cliff, and it instead turned into just store days where there would just be a store randomly with nothing attached to it. That's the part that kind of sucks, because like LTMs, do they get played like a whole lot by maybe like streamers and other stuff like that. No, most of the time I think they're playing ranked and they're trying to grind and do stuff like that. But for the casuals, this is why I'm wearing the crown. Like, bring back third person mode. That was amazing. That was so fun.
I loved it.
They brought it back for one day. I mean, they didn't bring it back. It was out for one day. That was it.
And then they dropped it because I think there was like some bug or something like that. And then they switched it.
It was like they had it was like a LTM where every day was a new LTM for a week or something. Yeah. And so you only got it for a day, and it was like, dude, that was so fun. Let's bring that back. It was
so cool. That was definitely one of my favorite LTMs too.
Yeah, mine
so
for sure.
Fire.
Yeah,
that's something I think they could improve on.
Yeah, the point too, like they were just recycling LTMs all the time. That should actually piss me off, bro. Because I was like, dude, we're getting the same LTMs every single new event. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, let's get something different, bro. Like we played this shit 4 times before.
Armed and Dangerous.
Literally, bro. I'm like, come on, shotguns and snipers. I think that was Armed and Dangerous. Yeah. Well, I was like, bro, come on, let's get something different, bro. Like, what is this? Felt like lazy in a way, but I'm glad that like they're kind of switching it up now. And like I think mixtape is a great addition, but the SBMM and mixtape is just as bad as pubs.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like, why am I sweating so hard in mixtape, bro? Like, I just like, there's times where like I can't sleep or like I want to hop on late at night with the boys. You know what I'm saying? Like 11 midnight, bro. And we want to just run some mixtape and chill. And we got to fucking sweat our ass off. Like, bro, come on. Like, dude.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Like TDM and Control, high key I think that is the absolute peak and prime place for people to just sweat.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're trying to get better at Apex Legends, I don't think that there's 2 modes that you could play that would give you more just sheer reps of getting gunplay in.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I legitimately, as part of the coaching, if I see somebody who needs to improve mechanically, I'm like, listen, you need to stop playing ranked. You're just wasting your time. You need to hop in. Yeah, just, like, put them on 2 to 3 hours a day of playing mixtape, and you are guaranteed to develop as a mechanical player.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You just get reps on, like you play 1 20-minute TDM, you just got more gunfights in than you are in your 4 to 5 hour rank sesh.
Yeah, that's actually a very, very good point. Okay, Enoch, I see you.
I mean, I just saying like that, you just be getting reps on reps on reps on reps. I mean, because I used to say you would just play pubs and you run around and you're like, okay, just try to drop a 20 bomb every game, get as many kills as you can, take fights, play smart. But it's like, why would you play pubs if TDM and Control isn't a thing where you literally just constant
respawn?
It's constantly respawning.
Fight. Yeah, it's just
always fighting.
Get better.
That's true.
I full agree.
No, that's a great point.
I will say this, and I want to give them credit, right? This new LTM with the abilities gives me hope, right? That they still got a lot left in the tank.
They so do.
Like, first time they're coming out with a collab, and we're hitting season 19.
Like, that doesn't even, game's been out for like almost 5 years now.
5 years in February, right?
Yep.
So first ever collab on, I think ever? Is this our first ever collab of any sort?
Yeah.
I think so.
That is insane.
Well,
they did like a Monster Energy
Did they not do like the anime one with like
that
the
one
Naruto?
That was like
wasn't
official
though, and they actually got sued and they had to change one of the skins.
Really?
No way.
I didn't know
the
that.
Octane skin.
Oh, the One Piece one?
Yeah, they had to change the hat.
That's actually crazy. I didn't know that.
So that's why this is the first official collab, because the other ones they kind of did it like shrouded in mystery.
Yeah, never heard of that lawsuit. Funny. But like I said earlier, I'm surprised they haven't been sued, but I guess they have,
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like, huge shout out to the devs, because first time I played this LTM, like with the abilities and stuff, was at Twitch Rivals, right? So I had no idea what the fuck I was getting into.
Same.
But it made Apex like, I mean, I still have fun. I have a blast playing this game, because if I didn't, I wouldn't play it, right? But it made it feel fresh, even just adding different abilities that you could use off the floor. You know? So they got a lot left in the tank, man. I got faith in the fellas and ladies over there at EA and Respawn. So we'll see what they got cooking.
I agree. I think they have a lot left in the tank too. I think there's lots of potential for the game going forward, and I feel like they've kind of like hit a stride in terms of knowing what works and knowing what doesn't. And one thing that I like too is that in the trailers they've been actually like incorporating more movement and like showcasing that off. Like I feel like they're finally starting to realize that like Apex. People play Apex for the movement and the fluidity and like stuff like that. And so they're finally starting to show that off. Like I remember last trailer, they had a fucking mantle jump in that bitch. I was like, damn. I was like, okay. And then like the previous ones, they're tab strafing, they're wall bouncing, like everything. I'm like, okay, I see y'all. Y'all are actually in tune. Okay. So I really like that, like, aspect. And I feel like the devs now, like I said, they're really in tune and they're kind of hitting their stride. So going forward, they know what works and they're just going to keep building on that.
What do you think Apex shelf life is, and why?
Shelf life.
Like how much longer do you think we got in the tank?
Game's been out for 4 years now, almost 5. I want to say at least another 5. So I want to say 10 years total. At least another 5 years, though, for sure.
That's a solid run, bro. Like, think about it this way. That's a decade.
Yeah, a decade of Apex Legends. Being a top 3 BR, too.
It's amazing.
I can see it. I could see it being that, or I could also see it longer. Because, like, low-key, I really genuinely believe that you're going to see, like, certain games in esports that are going to, like, stand out and establish themselves as timeless. And I think, like, League of Legends is one of them. CS is clearly one of them. Valorant is one of them. And I think that there's no reason with Apex being as entertaining as it is, as like with the Battle Royale and the match point format specifically, I don't see any reason why Apex couldn't become one of like the staples of like esports for it being so like, even though it's like a Battle Royale, right?
Yeah.
Just like the match point Apex.
Oh,
there is
insane.
not much from an entertainment perspective.
Yep.
That really does. And so, like, when you look at the NFL, we're looking at, like, how long has the NFL been around? Like, how many years?
Over 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, ridiculous. And we're watching, like, year 4. We could, in theory, potentially be watching, like, year 4 of what is, like, I definitely think there's going to be a year 50 ALGS. And so the fact that, like, we're year 4 and, like, there's going to be, like, year 50, it's pretty wild to think about.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously that's like way long. That's way more years than like you were gonna give it credit for. But I can't think of a game that could come along that from like a movement and gunplay and then just BR factor. I just can't see anything that like takes the spot.
Yeah.
But I mean, there could be just some. I'm excited for whatever game that is that kills this one. That game's got to be fire.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane because I feel like a lot of people like they're starting to like stray towards Apex or like gravitate towards it because everything else is just like there's nothing like it, bro. Apex like does what it does very, very fucking well, bro. And I think that's why people like it so much, bro. Because it's just like, damn, there's nothing else like it. Like the fulfillment that you get from hitting a clip on Apex or 1v3ing or even like 1v3ing and then fighting off, like you said, Wyatt, another third party, a fourth party, and having that fulfillment of like, damn, I just shit on those guys. Like there's nothing else like it out there right now, I feel like.
I'm getting hard just thinking about it, bro.
Man, let's go play ranked again.
Oh, man. I got half of mine too, bro. Honestly.
Apex after dark.
Dude, I think if anything knocks Apex, I think there's 2 possibilities to knock Apex down from where we're at to make it to a game where it's like it's shelved, right? It's going to have to be either a completely brand new video game in terms of, so when Fortnite came out with the Battle Royale, that shit took over. Right? Like there was already PUBG.
That's just criminal to PUBG. I was gonna say.
H1Z1 but they had done it in their own way.
Fortnite Battle Royale.
But you got to understand, majority of gamers are console gamers. They're not on PC.
I did not even. I had seen clips of it. I'd never like seen or even knew that I had the potential to play a Battle Royale until Fortnite. So I get what you're saying.
No, full agree.
Sure.
But
I just wanted to make sure when you said. When Fortnite came out with it made it sound like they started it.
Yeah,
and
because
I was like, well, hold up.
I think for something to take over like Fortnite did, you have to feed into the casual aspect of it, right? And the majority of casual gamers, they're not on PC, bro. They're on console, they're on Xbox, they're on PlayStation. So I think it would have to be a completely brand new idea, sort of like the Battle Royale was to, instead of, back in the day you playing Call of Duty, you had Search, you had Demolition, you had Domination, Team Deathmatch. all those sort of game modes, I think it's going to have to be something completely brand new, or which I hope it isn't this. All right, that orgs aren't going to be happy, right? Because I know some already aren't with the way that EA sort of structures, you know, how they deal with orgs. And I will say this: I want to give props to EA, and I want to give some respect because they do have a partnership agreement with certain orgs. I don't know if you guys know this or not. All right, where they give them a certain budget, and let me tell you something. This budget is many thousands of dollars. I don't even know if I should be able to speak about this, but somebody from EA didn't tell me. I heard this from an outside source.
Little birdie.
Who you know, is somebody very high up in an org who deals with this. But they give money. They give money to orgs, right? But it's a partnership thing that you got to fill out and you got to try to get into. But I would love to see Apex come out with org skins, right? Give them a little cut. Let them wet their beak a little bit. You know what I mean? Let them be able to take that money that they make from that and invest in the players, invest in content creators and pro players, because that's only going to funnel back into Apex, you know? So it's almost like an investment. It's not even like they're giving out money. But another thing I would love to see, right, is, you know how a couple seasons ago they came out with Monument and they came out with like the little museum that they have?
Yeah.
Dude. And Matt, and I got early access to see what it was, right? And first question I asked is like, are you guys going to put, you know, like rank 1 Preds on there? Are you guys going to put ALGS winners on there? Like something like that, you know what I mean? Just to like when you see something like that, like,
of course,
like just imagine, you know, you guys won ALGS as a squad, all three of you guys. You go in a monument, you're fighting, and all of a sudden you're looting, and you look in the wall. There
right
you fucking
there.
are.
Yup.
Like
What
imagine
a fulfilling feeling.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I would love to see that. And like you said, like the rank 1 Pred, I would love to see leaderboards, bro. When are we going to see actual in-game leaderboards?
Yes, why
bro.
not? There's no reason.
Game's been out for
There's
4
no
years now,
reason.
19 seasons or 18 seasons.
Give me
I'm gonna
something
tweet
to
that.
look at when I'm waiting for a game, because I know my name isn't going to be up there, but at least I can see some of the names of the people who've been on the show. At least I can do that. You know, like
In-game
give me
leaderboards, bro,
something to look
please.
at. Oh my god,
so sick,
I
dude.
do have a feeling though that the game is going to last longer, and this is why. Titanfall 3, I think it's coming out. I think they're going to do a Warzone style or Call of Duty style thing where it is Warzone attached to Call of Duty multiplayer. I think Titanfall 3 is going to be attached to Apex, and then they're going to have their Titanfall 3 multiplayer, and I think that'll put us in a different stratosphere, because if you guys played Titanfall 2's movement, it was even more crazy than Apex's movement. And they've been putting all these new updates on Titanfall 2. That's a 7-year-old game. For whatever reason they're doing that. They've got a lot of different things going on. Titanfall 3, I think it goes into the next stratosphere if they do that, and it makes it, you know, from a 5-year shelf life to maybe even 10, 15. That's what I'm thinking. But okay. We're at an hour 17 minutes with Dre here. This has been awesome. I realize right now that we're gonna have you on multiple times to get the full
I'd love to.
We're gonna have to, because we got to bring him back, because there's so much more we'd like to cover, so much more we got to talk about. But
I'd love to, man.
Dre, this has been awesome, man. This has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for hopping on.
Well, I do got to ask my question.
I know. I'll set you up for the queue.
Sure.
But you know, once again, thank you so much for hopping on. And
course,
I know you're battling the sickness, man. So thank you for hopping on anyway.
Of course. No worries, man.
Yeah. Hit him with it.
All right, so I ask everybody who we have on the same question, because everybody who we have on is performing in the top 1% of the field that they've chosen to work in, and you are certainly, you fit the bill for that.
Thank you, man. That means a lot.
And so as that, like, what is one thing that you've learned on this journey that you could share with somebody that, regardless of whatever field they were trying to become the top 1% in, what's one thing that you could share with them that would help them on that journey?
I'd say build a routine that you know that you can sustain, because I know a lot of people, they like to go super hard in the beginning because they're feeling motivated, they want to do it, they have all those feel good feelings and stuff like that, but then they don't do it 2-3 months down the line or however long, you know. So I recommend that if you do want to be in the top 1%, or you want to be great at something, or you really want to work towards something, build a routine that like I said, you can sustain, bro, over a long period of time. Because I know most of you guys know, but not everybody knows that the big wins and the big things that people always see, and the big success and the big stuff like that, those are all made from the little shit that you do each and every single day. Like, it's always the little baby stuff, bro, that always builds, and the small snowballs slowly start building and building. Then boom, all of a sudden you're living in it and you're here, and you look up, you're like, wow, okay, wait, this kind of worked out. So just please not only take care of yourself, but build a routine that you can sustain.
Love that.
Love
Well
it.
done. They don't
Yes, sir.
see-
Yes, sir.
They don't see
Beautiful
the grind,
stuff.
bro.
Yeah, they don't.
They
They
don't.
don't, bro. I tell you, it's the little shit. It's the little shit each and every single day, bro.
Well, Dre, this has been awesome. We're definitely gonna have to bring you back on because this was a vibe, as they would say.
I would love to, bro. I would absolutely love to be back on, man.
Yeah. So we will catch you pretty soon here. But once again, thank you. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for hopping on, man.
Yeah,
I love
of
you,
course,
bro.
bro. Like I said, thanks again for having me, man. I love you too, peeps.
Don't forget it.
All right, ladies and gents, that was Draynilla. Shout out to Dre for hopping on the show. We will see him again very soon. But we have some breaking news that just dropped right now as we were getting ready to record this. E, you got the tweets in front of you. Rip them off real quick.
All right, we will start with Tech. Tech, 8 minutes ago, can't help but feel used again. GG, go next. One day, Luxverdi and I will be rewarded for our hard work and dedication to the grind. And so,
Another one.
Another time of Tech having his teammate poached. It's almost as if that is one of the only for sure things you can know in
You can
Apex.
set your clock to it.
Is
I'm
that that man
I'm not
Tech is
laughing
going to
at
get
him.
his teammates poached?
It's not at him. It's just the situation is crazy.
fucked.
It happens every time.
I mean, I like it. Just 4 guys ago, it was impressive,
yeah.
and then 4 more dudes added on to the Tech poach train.
Do we have a
and it is
tally?
just
We should.
I don't even. We should be keeping track. But man, it's been a lot.
I mean,
He's like,
And so, congratulations to Zapto and whatever team he has decided to join and has gotten picked up on. Good for him. But man, that is just. I mean, honestly, Tech just needs to get he just needs to become an esports
GM.
scout.
just
Yeah.
become
Yeah.
like an agent of some kind, like just something.
He just needs to be a scout, a general manager,
A talent
scout,
scout.
because he knows how to find them.
He finds
and
them all the
everybody
time.
else just knows how to take them.
I will say this. I feel for Tech, man, because my man just
feel
wants
so
to
bad.
compete. He just wants to win, man. And I've actually had dinner with him back in Boston like 3-4 years ago, dude. He's a good dude, So that's definitely tough. And, I want to see him win some things here. But, I mean, my guy's got an eye for talent. And I think, sometimes when life gives you lemons, make some lemonade, man.
Well, that's the thing, though, is life is taking all of his lemons, and like he's about to make the lemonade, and then somebody just takes the lemons, and they're like, "Sorry, these are mine now." That's what keeps happening to Tech. It's so unfortunate. Like it's crazy. But the best part about it, from his perspective, if there is a silver lining, is you have an incredible eye for talent. You find these guys, and they're so good that other people are like, I need them. I need them now. And so I guess if you're going to hang your hat on anything, you can hang it on that and just be like, well, at least I'm good at finding them. I really do want to see him compete and just have a team just stay. He needs a ride or die. He needs 2 ride or dies, and we'll see him in there. But that definitely sucks. In some other news, E, you've got the other tweet up. This one's kind of big.
This one's big.
And so this tweet is from RKN, LFT/LF2 for PLQ smiley face. I can lead a team to land next split. 4 years, I've never had a long-term roster and still made almost every finals. I will give you the best version of myself to date. The players I respect me for what I am capable of. That's all that matters to me. And
Now,
so,
this one's big.
LFT, which I believe has always been looking for team /LF2. So it does not seem like it's a full split from both Koi and Zenile. He won't be playing with either. We don't know anything from Koi and Zenile's POV. They have yet to post anything. Again, this is like just very, very recent. Posted at 11:30. One interesting notable response is it does have a reply from Rogue saying hello. And so are we going to see an RKN Rogue combination in the near future? If we do, there's got to be some aim assist on that squadron in the third. But yeah, we don't know what's going to be going on with Sentinels. I mean, Koi has been a pretty hot topic as we've went into this roster mania, even though it was always viewed up until now as him being on a firmly established roster. But we don't know what's going to be happening. Are Koi and Zen, are they going to be staying together on Sentinels and picking up an IGL? If they are, who's that IGL? I feel like the best guess has got to be Sweet. But I've also seen reports that Sweet and Nate are planning on staying together. So does that mean that they're just picking up Koi? Or is Koi going to Dark Zero? And then there's just a whole lot of like what's going on.
A lot of what ifs, you know?
There's just a whole lot. But hey, roster mania, you got to find something to talk about and to get those engagements on social media during the off season. And we are certainly getting that out of this one. That is for sure. And this is just the absolute, just most groundbreaking update.
If you had to put your money on something, meaning you got to make a prediction or you got to say, this is what I think is happening, what would it be? Because there's a million possibilities, but I'd love to hear what you guys actually think is happening from your perspective. What do you think is going to be the outcome?
I think E hit the nail on the head, man. I think Koi may be the Dark Zero, dude. Honestly, and I didn't think about that until he just mentioned it. Or it could be Sweet Nathan picking up Koi under the Sentinels banner. Since the NRG is out.
Like if you had to put it down, you had all the things that could be. What do you think is the case? Like, what do I think is? I see that's I don't have like a surefire. Like, there's just not one. Like, it's just like there's so many different directions that it could go.
What's your best take?
I would say I really think it's a 50-50. I would say my best take is that I'm 99% confident that Koiful will either be playing with Dark Zero or with Sweet and Nate. Those are really like the two main places that I could see him ending up. That'll be my take. Okay. Which of the two you could honestly flip a coin, and I would be okay with either answer. But yeah, I think one of those two is where we'll see Koi land. Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get some more clarity tomorrow. What were you gonna say, Peeps?
And then, what do you guys think, Zainu? Where do you think he goes? Because he's 17 years old. He's got talent coming out of the ass. One of the best gunny skills I've ever seen in my life. Where do you guys think he goes?
That one's tough. Because I do think there's a lot of promise if Koi doesn't go. That could be like if Koi doesn't go with Sweet and Nate, that could be an angle. I mean, as you like, dude, that kid oozes talent. He is so insane. He is just unbelievably good at the game, and yeah, it's hard for me to think of outside of those two. Clearly, it's not DZ. So I guess that makes my Koi. I'm gonna say Koi's going to DZ, and then I'm gonna say Zainu's going to
NRG. Well, XNRG.
Sentinels. X, yeah, he's gonna play with Sweet and Nate, and they're gonna get picked up by somebody. Like they will get picked up. There's like no doubt that like there's no way that Sweet plays comp Apex and is not playing for like a tier 1 org.
He just brings too much to whatever
There's so much
org
value
brings
there.
him in. Yeah, just
Yeah.
way
There's
too much
talent.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
that's the breaking news here. I'm sure this more will materialize over the next coming days, so we'll have a lot more to talk about next week on the subject. But a lot's going down right now. Kind of off the cusp, like immediately, we were about to start recording the final part of the show, and then those tweets had dropped. So we thought we'd talk about it real quick here on the back end. Going down to some news that could shake up the game a little bit. We're not too sure about what it is. We don't have details 100%, but the brand new legend for season 19, Conduit, is going to be making her entrance at the start of the brand new season. Conduit looks to have some sort of like healing abilities from the video that had dropped. Looked like she was able to help out her team in that direction. There was also some other things floating around about what she was going to be able to do with her ult. There was a scene where Bangalore drops ult and she does something odd and it doesn't end up affecting them in any way. But Conduit seems to be coming in. Looks like it's going to be a support legend. I don't know if you guys got any insider info, tips, whatever it may be on how this legend is going to play out. But if you do, what do you guys think? And if not, overall, what's your feeling heading into season 19 with the brand new legend?
I didn't. Well, I watched the trailer. I'm gonna be honest. I still couldn't tell a whole lot about like what's going on because it was just way more of like a musical than anything else. Which I mean, I'm sure that there was the crowd out there that they were all about it. I just ain't. That ain't not me, not my thing. But one of the abilities, it appears that is basically like a Valk cube, but they're like frozen and they can't move and they're just stuck there. And so if that's a real thing and you actually just like cannot move and you're stuck somewhere, that just sounds unbelievably broken and something that I'm not necessarily looking forward to dealing with. It could be not nearly as bad as it looks, and it could be just like a non-factor. But dude, if you actually get like full on like frozen, like can't move, like arcs, like what's the point of playing Ashe?
It's gonna be
Like,
spooky.
I mean, it's already like what's the point of playing Ashe? But it's about to be like what's really the point of playing Ashe? And so we'll see. But yeah, I haven't looked too much into it beyond that. What about you, peeps?
Dude, I'm not gonna talk out of my ass here. I haven't even seen the trailer. I've just been so crazy busy these last couple weeks. But based on what I saw in my chat, people are excited. You know, I've seen a lot of tweets like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a Conduit main. I'm gonna be a Conduit main." Blah blah blah. So I'm glad that we're finally getting another new legend, which is great for the game. It's kind of insane. We have what 25 legends now.
I think this will be 25 now. I think.
So that's insane to think in itself. But I did hear something about a healing ability. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's I for sure it's going to be a support. That's what I've seen so far, and you didn't miss a whole lot with the trailer unless you're into Revenant singing musical numbers, which if you're into that, it's there. It's there for you. It's there for you to watch.
I think the only musical I've ever enjoyed was High School Musical, you know. We're soaring.
Great. That's great. That is a great one. I have my daughter always watches that movie.
I was hoping you guys would come in and sing.
Do you want to? We could. We'll save it for another
next time.
That'll
next
be,
time.
The next time.
It's
Next time
now.
you start, I'll come in. Yeah.
All right.
My
Good.
bad. Hand up on that's on me. That's on me. Okay. Well, that should just about do it, ladies and gents. We are going to send it on down to the heart to heart. Peeps' first ever heart to heart, and then we'll send you guys on the rest of your week. Let's get it. All right, here we are, ladies and gents. It is heart to heart time. Heart to heart time. E, you got one? Or do you need me to rip it?
You got it first.
You got me? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think you should lead.
Yeah. Last week, I had talked a little bit about I got a baby on the way. It's about 3 or 4 more weeks. We're getting dangerously close. And, dude, I wasn't nervous. Like, up to this point, but recently, bro, oh my God, I've been getting way more nervous. It's very stressful. I'm saying the same things I did last week, but it's just, so I started cleaning out the entire house and I started noticing that there's lots of sharp edges and there's lots of dangerous stuff everywhere. And I was like, damn, I got to fix that up. So that's the worst part about all of this, though, is that I'm moving at the same time that the baby is coming. So
Yeah.
that's going to be the toughest part because it's like I'll be able to have one spot ready, but then the next spot I'm going to have to get ready all over again. So that's going to be weird. But that's been the bulk of my brain recently is the baby girl's on the way and we got to get ready for that. And I've been like looking at YouTube videos and like just I don't know how those are going to help me, but I just doing anything to learn more, I guess. I think I might pass out. I actually think I'm going to pass out in the hospital room. I think I will. Like I had dreams that I just passed out and then I woke up and the baby was born and I was like, damn, I missed the whole thing. I think that might be me. I'm not a good, like, I don't handle blood super well, like seeing it. I don't like pass out when I see blood, but I do kind of get like, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Bro. Congrats, by the way, man. That's a blessing.
Thank you. I appreciate you. E, your heart to heart.
Mine's gonna be pretty similar. I mean, to like what I talked about last week. I mean, I'm just getting out here, putting in the work, and just really trying to focus on just being grateful, and just for every step of the way, and just enjoying each moment as much as I can. Because like as I've talked about once, dude, like the idea that you only get to live each moment in your life once, and so that you might as well enjoy it as much as you can, regardless of how bad it is. Simply because if you don't enjoy it as much as you can, you simply just aren't enjoying it as much as you can, and then boom, it's gone. You know, like that is just something that is just. I be thinking about that all the time, and I'm really glad that I'm thinking about that all the time because then I end up enjoying, like regardless of the situation I'm in, a little bit more, and I'm just gonna keep doing that, and I'm just gonna keep focusing on that, and then everything will fall into place.
Life's short, man. Life's so short.
So
like
short.
I just turned 28 last week, bro, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? I still feel like I just graduated high school 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely insane. I'm right there with you, E. I think my heart to heart moment, I think my word for the week is definitely grateful. Going to TwitchCon last week. 2 days ago, actually. Just meeting the amount of people I've met from the community, especially like viewers, was insane. How excited they are to meet you and like ask for a picture or an autograph. Like it is one of the most surreal feelings, and it's something that I will never get over. And to really have my friends that I have in my life, bro. I mean, I just saw so many of them at TwitchCon, from other events. And just to see where I'm at in my life, the day before I went to TwitchCon, I was in LA working with the NFL. Like, I love the NFL, man. So it's surreal, man. It's surreal. It's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to do what I do, and I'm so fucking grateful for the life I live, bro. Here we are, fellas.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. That was your first heart to heart. How did it feel? Felt good?
Felt like a heart to heart, baby.
Felt like a heart to heart. That's right. That's right. How was the first show overall? What are you giving it?
It was cool, man. It was cool. Like I said, I've been wanting to do a podcast for so long, so I appreciate you guys getting me on here and having me. I'm hoping I'm doing a good job. We'll see what the viewers think, and take it from there.
There we go. Beautiful, man. Well, it's been you did do a good job, by the way,
Appreciate it.
And we got plenty more episodes ahead of us.
The pirate peeps.
What?
Just you're the one eye of like the ever like when we went because like we had the Dre, we were in like we're in the 4-piece, but like for this entire time you've been like,
oh yeah, because he's got
what have I been leaning?
yeah, no, it was just like I felt like I was talking to a cyclops at one point.
Oh man, I'll see that's something to work on. You know what I mean? It's just, I've been sitting
better
in this
next week.
chair. Yeah, I've been sitting in this chair for 11, 12 hours today, so my ass is getting a little hurt. So I gotta
we got
switch
it.
over a little bit.
We got it.
It was good. It was good. It was good.
We're on to Cincinnati next week, baby. That's what we got. All right. Well, ladies and gents, that should just about do it for this week's episode of the Apex, the podcast. Don't forget to click the link down below and follow along with all of us on our other endeavors. We got We the People on Twitch. We've got Brother Enoch on Twitch. And then if you like a lot of Apex that's stupid and funny and silly, you've got the Grab My Banner podcast as well with me. Ladies and gents, we'll catch you guys next week for another episode. See you.